Good morning, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Sports 56 Mornings with Peter and CJ. It's Wednesday. I only know that because we played soft rockish music yesterday, and that happens on a Tuesday, so I'm pretty
Titillating Tuesday.
Pretty sure it's Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Welcome in. We've got a jam-packed show for you. We're going to talk some NFL draft. We're going to talk to Rob Fisher at 9. I can't wait to talk to Rob. Rob has been getting his lumberjack on. I don't know if any of you guys have been following him on the Instagram, but he has been chopping down trees and stuff.
Gotta say, man, why don't we get this dude out to Oak Island? He can maybe find that damn treasure.
Maybe. A treasure party hunt. Yeah. I can see Rob
dude,
coming in
he was
handy.
working that axe, man. He can get down in that hole, man.
The hatchet. It was a hatchet, not a full-on axe, but yes,
It had an axe and then a small handle, so I guess that's what they call a hatchet?
I think
so what does that make you, a murderer? Because you know the different, weapons?
Wasn't there a book? There was a book I think everybody read as a kid.
No, I did not read.
That's John Harden, ladies and gentlemen, making sure that everything goes according to plans. Why do I feel like I'm pretty sure there was it Fisherman in the Sea? Where my man only had a hatchet and a boat, and he had to try and figure out how to fish or something like that.
I can't remember if I actually read that one. The Old Man in the Sea?
Yeah, The Old Man in the Sea.
I don't even remember that one somehow.
Hatchet was the book. I take that back. I don't remember what exactly Hatchet was about. Now I got to check on that because it's going to bother me. I don't remember exactly what Hatchet was about. But it involved somebody stranded on an island, and all they had was a hatchet.
Yeah, Brooke Shields got stranded on an island when she was 15. I saw that movie when I was growing up.
Blue Sea? What was that movie?
I think it was Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon. That is exactly what it was. Yeah, Hatchet is a novel.
And the exact opposite was Blue Cocoon or something, where the old people went to the alien place. That was a horrible movie when I was growing up. For some reason, every old person liked it.
Hatchet was written by Gary Paulson. However you say that person's name. So, yeah, I remember reading that book in middle school, having to read it. Don't remember what the hell it was about, and not really sure I read it. I know I was supposed to read it, but I think I read that one.
I know, but I know a lot about skimming. Hatchet. But I do tell you, one of the books I still remember, Bo Knows Bo, baby.
Was that a book? That wasn't a book from...
my
school,
childhood. Oh, heck no, dude. That wasn't a school book.
Yeah. I don't know what
I don't remember the school stuff.
I don't know what we're doing with these reading and language arts books. Because it's always just boring stories. Bo Knows Bo seems like it would be fun to read and fun to teach to a group of adolescent kids, especially boys, about what's going on.
I was so stuck in that book, and I didn't even like to read.
And you didn't like... I don't think it's that you didn't like to read. I don't think it's that kids don't like to read.
Well, okay, I just wasn't good at it, but I still went through the book because I enjoyed it.
That's what it boils down to. How much do you enjoy what you're reading?
That's what it was.
You wouldn't enjoy reading.
I didn't care about Chaucer Tales or some Canterbury Tales or all that.
Canterbury Tales.
Dude,
why are we still reading that? That was written when? Check on that for me, John. See when the Canterbury Tales are written. We've got to have other things going on, other stories that can be told other than the Canterbury Tales. I guess that's wild to me. That we still have
1387.
13 Are you kidding me?
No, it was written in 1386, published in 1387, and didn't get to fame until 1389.
Get out of here. We had just started publishing at that time. Just started, I do believe. And we're reading that book? No, Beowulf.
I can't believe I remember Chaucer wrote it.
Why are we still reading Beowulf? Did you guys have to read Beowulf?
Oh, yeah, Beowulf. I couldn't stand that one either.
So it's not that you didn't read or you couldn't read, you weren't good at it. These stories weren't resonating with you in the same way.
I couldn't read literally when I was a kid for I couldn't read a lick. I was horrible. I literally, thank you, Miss Henderson, for realizing I couldn't read at one point. And when they would ask me to read, I would get up and do stand-up comedy until the teacher would make me sit down. So I literally couldn't read. When I finally could read, it's amazing how you read books like that you like Bo Knows Bo versus whatever, The Yellow Bus or, Canterbury Tales.
What grade were you in when they realized you couldn't read?
4th grade.
Good Lord. You're good at faking it, man.
Man, I could fake it till I made it, but I could do some damn math like a mug. They didn't know about dyslexia back then.
John, you say back then like it was 1800s. I think
Man, I'm telling you, we didn't have Adderall or Ritalin, and I don't take any of that anyway because they did try to give it to me one time, and I told you I took like a 10 milligram, and next thing you know, I had to go to the hospital. Oh, dude, yeah. I thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah, that is the solution when the kid is.
Oh, no, I didn't have that when I was a kid. It was like when I was like 20 years old.
John,
they
why
were
in
like,
the hell are you taking that?
Oh, no, when
A
doctor was like, yo, homie, why don't you, because, you're a very hyperactive person. Maybe you have ADD.
Okay.
Nope. It was like I did an 8-ball.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. These books, we got to. Why are we still reading William Shakespeare in that funny ass old English? I don't know why I remembered Hatchet though. Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings. I tried. So, did y'all have accelerated
Do you
reader?
know Shakespeare was 1564? Like, that was a long time ago. And by the way, when he was alive, he wasn't even popular. I think he died and didn't even know he was good, or didn't he? Or isn't that how that story went?
I don't know, man.
I know one of the guys that's supposedly
great,
didn't even know he could write a lick or something. That's one of the things I remember halfway.
Did y'all have accelerated reader?
Dude, I wasn't in it.
Okay, so here's what accelerated reader was. It was a part of your grade. And so I
couldn't read till the 4th grade, homie.
I understand. This was like a middle school thing, though. And I think it's still around in some form or some capacity in some places. So you had a book, you read the book, and then you took an online test about the book, and it graded you off of your reading comprehension. It was supposed to be one of those things where because the school system is dictating so much about what you read, it is, hey, go find a book that you like to read, and if it's an approved book on the AR test list, you can take the test, and we'll give you a grade on it, and that grade counts towards your final grade. Where the way our classroom was set up, everybody had a different set of rules and regulations. The way ours was set up, if you got 12 points, that was it. That's all you needed was the 12 points. 12 out of 12, perfect score. You got 100 out on a test. But if you got over 12 points, you got bonus points, bonus credit on your final score. So what I started doing, John, was big book hunting. I was like, yo, if I get like 48 accelerated reader points, I can either A, add those points onto my final grade, or B, be done with reading for the year. 6 weeks in a year, I could be basically done. And I was like, well, what books give me the highest points? Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, like those books came up. And I read the first 2 pages of The Hobbit and was like, nope, I'm out. This is boring me already. I can't. This book is too damn thick and it's too damn boring. There's no way I'm going to finish this book in 6 weeks.
You know what? We just got a text, and I know we are so off topic, and this is probably my fault, but somebody just texted and said, The Call of the Wild is a book and Where the Red Fern Grows, and I can't believe this, but I remember, I think that was like the first actual school book I could read was Where the Red Fern Goes.
Where the Red Fern Grows was a book I enjoyed.
Like, I remember the dog and Billy and Old Dan? I'm pretty sure it's Old Dane. I'm going to pull that up.
I think so. Where the Red Fern Grows was a fun book. I remember reading that like, oh, okay, good. We finally got a good book on here. Another good one. I was thinking about Lord of the Flies the other day. Lord of the Flies was really, really good. I read that in 8th grade, and I thought it was wonderful. I think I might read that to my children, have my children read it at one point in time if it is outside of
Billy!
the curriculum.
And yeah, his old dog is Dan. Yep, old Dan.
Yeah, he ended up having 2 hound dogs because Dan got too old, right? Am I remember correctly?
It said in the Great Depression. I just remember, like, I can't remember if he got that second dog. I just remember when he had to put old Dan down, man. I was like in tears.
That was the deal. Spoiler alert. Sorry, junior morning.
Dude, if you're like in the 7th grade and listening, or maybe, did you read that before the 7th grade? I might have been in the 7th grade.
I feel like 6th grade. The years all kind of run together. I think 6th grade for me was Where the Red Fern Grows and a bunch of other books I didn't like, a bunch of Shakespeare stuff.
Yeah, that's some kid
stuff. And then 7th grade, The Giver. The Giver was another one that really hit me in a special place, a place I did not know.
Is that like The Punisher?
No, The Giver is a book where we're in a dystopian society and nobody can see colors, nobody has any joyful memories. You get, basically, society tells you what you're going to be before you turn like 12. They tell you what you're going to be. You have to specialize in that field, but there is one person named the giver who has all of the knowledge from
Is that where the
world.
Eloys are in?
No.
Because I read about some dystopian world, but there was like a tube and there was Eloys and these people
No,
came
that's
up.
something else, I think. But the giver can see color. The giver can taste things, and it was a really, really good and really, really weird because you didn't, like parents, they told you who you were going to marry, and they gave you a child. You weren't just out there having babies. They had a special group of women and men who were in charge of making the babies. And then after their baby making time was done,
That sounds
after
like
they
did the man get to be a baby maker?
after you finished, like after you gave 3 babies, you had to go work in the fields. So they pampered you during the whole, hey, you're gonna make babies for us, so we're gonna treat you with to a life of luxury for the next 4 or 5 years. But right after you give us that 3rd baby, bow, you got to go and do hard labor for the rest of your life. So it was one of those type situations. And if the baby wasn't healthy, they ended up getting rid of it. Like it was wild. But I remember The Giver being a good book also. Speaking to me as a kid. 67129. 67129 on.
Do you think Gronk reads anything?
No, 67129 on the First Bank text line. Be a part of the show. Text in some of your favorite books to read as a child. Some of the favorite books that you had to read in school curriculum, because I guarantee you it wasn't. I don't guarantee you. I don't know. For me, it wasn't many. I remember the books I enjoyed reading vividly. So text in 67129 on the First Bank text line. Call in 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines as well. Like I said, to start the show, we got a lot to get to. John brought up Gronk being able to read. He reads well enough to sign contracts and to force trades out of scenarios, out of situations. So he is, for those of you who missed it, Gronk is going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer this year. He got a trade from
You're not on
New
drugs.
England.
The first time I saw this, I thought this was The Onion for sure, but I'm like, I'm watching ESPN, and then I started looking at my drink to see if somebody gave me LSD.
So that is happening. We'll talk about that. Like I said, we got Rob Fisher, the Hatchet Man, the Lumberjack, joining us as well at 9. Got some rule changes in college football to discuss as well, and some other interesting news from around the world of sports. I'm trying to think. As far as Shakespeare go, though, John, do you have a favorite Shakespeare play? Because
no, dude.
Did y'all have, when you were in school around these parts, did y'all do a different Shakespeare book every year, or did y'all just spend 1 year on Shakespeare? Do you remember?
It was like a semester.
Okay, so one semester.
We had one book, and it was a book of him.
Oh, okay.
Like, it would have Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth and any damn thing he wrote.
Okay. Hamlet and Macbeth are good. I enjoyed those. The rest of them I could have done without. Were you going to say something? Do you remember
I can't
either
remember
one
if
of
he
those?
wrote this one.
What is it?
Othello?
Yep, that's Shakespeare. That is
Okay,
also
I was
Shakespeare.
about to. I was like, you know how you're about to say something, then you're like, whoa, that might not be him.
Yes, that is Othello, Midsummer Night's Dream, King Lear.
You know more than me.
Yeah, I was supposed to read all of those books. I know I read Hamlet, I know I read Macbeth, I know I read Romeo and Juliet and King Lear. And I think I was supposed to read everything else and just was like, nah, forget it. I'm just going to have to fake this like John Harden used to do. I'm just going to have to fake it till I make it, man.
Just fake it, baby.
There was a lot of failing grades on on my English papers. Text it in. Robinson Crusoe. Thank you, Tim. Tim remembers reading that book from way back when he was in school. I don't think Robinson Crusoe was on our book list, though. Was it on yours, John?
Man, it really wasn't.
Did y'all have to do summer reading?
I mean, we were supposed to, but I played ball.
All right.
I never did any of it.
Oh, gosh.
I lived with my coaches. Do you think they were going to let us read a book?
That was the worst. Summer vacation comes. Everybody's got a break. And you want me to read how many books in the summer? 4? On my own? Nah, man. No, I almost got kicked out of school for not doing summer reading. My 8th grade year, my first year at Montgomery Bell Academy.
I read my
they kicked
playbook
me out.
every summer.
Good.
I was ready for football when it rolled around. That's
Good.
it.
I don't, man, let me get a break. Why are you having me read all of these books? Why do I have to read Frankenstein in the summertime? No. I have no clue what's going on here. I don't know what the metaphors and the similes and all that stuff is. It's just a book with words to me, and it's confusing. Don't make me do that. No disrespect to Mary Shelley, but I was reading Frankenstein. I was like, why am I doing this right now? I have no clue what this book is even about. Like, I know it's about making a monster. I get that. We all get that part. But when time comes, because we have to read the book and do a 5-paragraph paper. I don't know what to tell you about this book. I could summarize it for you, but I can't tell you the messages and the meaning behind it. No. So why not just wait till we get back in school and teach me this? Good grief. Texters have texted in. Macbeth. Macbeth was a really good book. Thank you, Texter. Another texter says Brian's Song.
Dude, that's tough.
I didn't read Brian's Song. I definitely had to read Macbeth, though. I really enjoyed Macbeth. Macbeth taught me that you got to make sure you got the right woman with you, like the right romantic partner. Because Lady Macbeth sent Macbeth out. She started all that. She sent Macbeth out there to end up getting messed up. Man. And then she lost her mind at the end of it.
You never read Brian's Song or even watched the movie back in the day? Do you even know about, like, Gale Sayers and my homie who got cancer? Brian Piccolo? Yeah, Brian Piccolo. I almost wanted to say James Caan because that's who in the movie he plays in the movie.
No, I miss Brian's Song, man. I don't know how. Because we read 4 books in the summertime, and then every year you're reading 4 or 5 books a quarter. So that's a lot of books we're supposed to read. But yeah, no, missed that entirely. Don't know how. Did you enjoy Brian's Song? Did you enjoy the movie or the book, John?
Both.
Okay.
But they're very, very, like, the end is, like, it's just, it's just really well done. Like, yeah, like good job, Texter. That is a sports, like, that's a great sport. Like, for a kid or a young boy or, like, when you're growing, that's a good one.
You've got to have books that...
You got to have something that people are interested in. You're not going to pay attention to.
Kids are interested in.
Well, I guess now, are they going to make books on video games?
Well, you got the Percy Jackson books, the Harry Potter books.
Wait, those are video games?
No, those are books.
No, I know, but I'm just saying things like kids, like I was interested in sports, so reading about sports or reading about a situation, it didn't have to do necessarily with sports. You know, Brian Piccolo had to do with race relations, death, life and death. I mean, just life, you know, like, you know, Gale Sayers, the horrors that he had to go through, and then the friendship that he developed with running back Brian Piccolo, et cetera, and then the reality of getting cancer and all, man. There's a lot of, man, that was a good one.
The human element is what draws you in.
That one grabs
the human element.
But it's also, it has to be a story that you're interested in. Yeah.
And pulls you in. Harry Potter, for a lot of people, gives them that.
See, that
and pulls them in.
How's that? I couldn't get pulled in by that.
Oh, John, everybody's a little bit different.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, for me, the things that got me as a child all basically revolved around sports. Well, I guess that's why I'm here.
My brother and others, this is how crazy it was. My brother is in line at like 10 at night waiting for the 1 a.m., release of the last book. Like, that's how pulled in he was. I didn't see him read much, but he read all those damn Harry Potters. Read them all. Those are the types of things you've got to find a way to diversify your, I guess, book reading curriculum. If you're an English teacher, give us some Brian's Song, give us some Where the Red Fern Grows, sprinkle in a little bit of Harry Potter, and sprinkle in some Percy Jackson. It can't all be Beowulf and the Odyssey and the Iliad. Wait, the Iliad and the Odyssey are the same thing. Never mind, I think. Are they? I don't know, but it can't all
be... The Iliad and the Odyssey, yeah. But
they can't all be these same stories from before the printing press, man.
Why can't you even do it like a Brian Song play? Like, dude, I would be all pumped up to be like I could be Gale Sayers at the end and be like, dude, I love Brian Piccolo. You gave the wrong person the trophy. You know, because at the end he gets the George Halas Most Courageous Player Award.
Okay. And
then he tells everybody that, like, that's the whole, like, at the end of the show, that's what like really gets you.
Okay.
Or the end of the book or whatever you're doing. I mean, they're both good.
Okay. It is. I'm trying to think of another good one that we've read or that I had to read. Edgar Allan Poe, because he was creepy and he had short stories that got straight to the point. Like Edgar Allan Poe was one. I did a whole.
You just liked them because they were short.
Yes, and they got to the point, man. The Telltale Heart? Are you kidding me? Who does not like the Telltale Heart? That's the name of that one with the man in the wall.
Yep.
Who doesn't like that one?
Just keeps beating.
Yes. What's the? Oh, now it's gonna bother me. What is the one about the plague that he did, where all the rich people are holed up, everybody's outside suffering, but the rich people are holed up having a party, and then the plague personified makes its way into the party. Scarlet
Mask of
the Scarlet Mask, I think.
No, the Mask of Red Death. No, that's like no Masquerade. No,
you got it right.
Which one? Which is it? Masquerade or Mask?
The Mask of the Red Death.
The Mask of the Red Death.
I think that's it. Edgar Allan Poe has so many really good, creepy, unsettling. The Pendulum Swing, that one was good.
The which one?
The Pendulum.
I don't even remember that one.
Where you are, or the person is just laying there, and the pendulum is swinging back and forth.
Oh, yes. Now I do remember.
And that psychological
Damn, I forgot
thing.
that was Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe has some good stories, man. Edgar Allan Poe made me super, super happy to read. Like, I really enjoyed looking forward to going to school so I could get more of this Poe knowledge.
The Raven is the one that...
The poem, yeah. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Baltimore's on. I think that's why the Ravens are the
Once
Ravens.
Upon a Time in Midnight.
Oh, man, some good stories that we read. A lot of stories that didn't pull me in, but there were some good ones in school. Keep the text coming in on the first
While
text
I wander
line,
weak
man.
and weary.
Oh, so good. So good. Text in 67129 on the First Bank text line. Call
By the
in.
way, I got to ask you real quick while we're getting deep, is Bruce Arians getting set up here for failure?
Call in 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines. We'll talk about that on the other side. Thank you guys for watching us. Also, for those of you who aren't watching us, check us out. Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about that Gronk situation, John, on the other side. You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn. Ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn. Tell people to stay off the lawn. Compare it to your neighbor's lawn. And complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Sports 56 would like to recognize local businesses that are out there providing for the community. Let's support local business with your business. Airmaster's on-time service guaranteed. A-plus appliance repair, parts and service for major appliances. JR's Autos, your used car place. Memphis Auto Parts, King of Auto Parts. Airways Tires, in business for 52 years. Shelby Forest General Store. Moon Dance Grill. Sports 56 appreciates the support of local businesses always, but especially during this time. Thank you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. This hour is brought to you by Mid-South Power Distributors. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
You know, well, I surely hope that you don't plan on winning. There's no paying more attention. The ones who told you clear, you are seconds from the impact. They were moving way too slow.
Welcome back. Sports 56 Mornings. John and CJ got you today. We were talking about books we enjoyed reading as kids. I forgot one. This one was not from when I was a kid, though. This was from when I was in maybe my freshman year of college. Desiree's Baby was really, really good. Nice little M. Night Shyamalan twist there at the end of it. I really enjoyed that one. So welcome back in. We were talking about books early in the show. For those of you who may have missed it, Rob Gronkowski is coming out of retirement. The Patriots sent Gronk and a 7th-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft down to Tampa, and they got a 2020 4th-rounder in return. And really, you think about what the Patriots' MO is, and part of the Patriot way is moving on from players before they come to the back end of their careers. And they tried to do it in 2018. So that was the last year Gronk played. And they had a deal set up with the Lions to send Gronk there for a 1st-rounder and a higher 2nd pick. So they would have gotten a 1st-round pick and flopped 2nd-round picks with the Lions to send Gronkowski to Detroit.
By the way, I think also something that is fascinating there are so many things about this that's fascinating that I want to fall over and freak out about. Like one, O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate are already down there. So who the hell are you getting rid of to bring in Gronk, who's old and was retired in his final season, only caught 3 touchdowns?
All right, so let's stop right there. Because that was one of the things that jumped out at me. The Patriots usually get more for these types of deals.
4th-round pick.
4th-round pick for what?
But
Gronk
it's $10 million off your salary because they couldn't bring back Gronk.
And you couldn't trade him anywhere else because he's retired. And that's why that Detroit deal fell through. Gronk was like, no, I'm not. I'll retire. I won't go. And so they ended up having to pull away from that deal, that Super Bowl season. He did it the following year. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. If you are the Patriots and the Patriots need a tight end. They do. They could use O.J. Howard. And I think Brate would be from a pass catching from a receiving standpoint. He would bring an element that you would want if you're the Patriots. Did they not ask, or were the Bucs just not? I can't imagine the Bucs not willing to give up either Brate or O.J. Howard. So I don't get that, John. That definitely stood out to me. The Patriots are really good about fleecing people and about getting more value in their trade. So I would have thought that they would have gotten, if they got the 4th, sure, fine, okay. But I would have thought they would have gotten one of O.J. Howard or Cameron Brate in the deal also.
I just don't know what Bruce Arians going to do with him. And by the way, and this is the thing that also, like all the things that fascinate me, I just want to remind people, think about Rob Gronkowski when he retired, and I want you to think about, do y'all remember the August 27th, I know you probably don't remember the date, August 27th, 2019, my homie buys into the CBD medic. By the way, from TDs to CBD to medical marijuana, that's another thing that's going to interest me because he's going back to the league and he owns a huge stake in a medical marijuana company and a CBD company. So that's also interesting. But do you remember at that CBD forum when he started crying, talking about how the love of, like, the joy of life had been taken from him, that the Patriot way had worn on him so bad that his last season, like, I mean, he's like, I didn't feel like myself, and I had to get away from football because I didn't like, I didn't like getting up in the morning and all that stuff. He's like, why have my body hurt for something I'm not having fun for? He gets away. He said he needed as much mentally as he did physically. I think that this is going to be good for Rob Gronkowski mentally getting away from the game. I don't know if he stayed in the physical type shape because he sure as heck looks a lot damn skinnier. Like when he was in the ring during WWE or whatever, that didn't look like the big beefing Gronk that I remember. So maybe he's going to play a little bit smaller. I don't know at 31 if we're going to, like, if this is going to be the same guy, but I don't know how, like, this helps necessarily Tampa Bay get to where they want to get, because what I'm saying is Tom Brady's going to have one of his blankets, like his comfort blanket, and people are like, oh, he's got a lot of comfort with Rob Gronkowski. Again, isn't O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate both better than Rob Gronkowski at this point in their career?
So you said a lot there. Let's start with that joy being gone. And this is
basically crushing the Patriot way.
This is a part of the issue with what's going on in New England. Catch that door for me, John. It's not you can get away with it because you're winning, and you're winning at a phenomenal level. And you remember when we talked, I think it was Monday, we spun the wheel which team you'd want to be a part of, and we didn't even mention being on any other Patriots teams from that run that they've went on, because it's not fun.
Damn, that shocks me.
It weighs on you. It wears on you. You don't get to be, if you're Gronk, who is just goofy, silly, fun-natured, you don't get to be that way. You have to keep that to yourself, that individualism that you have, the individual freedom that you might have at a Seattle, for instance, when you think about what Pete Carroll has done with them.
Doesn't this feel, though, like it sets up Bruce Arians? Because, again, you have to win. They've just gone in Las Vegas. Like, their odds, I don't know if you know this, Las Vegas, just by adding Gronk, which makes no sense. February 3rd, Tampa Bay to make the Super Bowl, 50-1. March 17th, they signed Brady. It goes to 22-1. Yesterday, it dropped to 14-1. They're now currently in 5th position at the highest odds to win the damn Super Bowl after they add Rob Gronkowski.
The fun is back, and he needed to get away, and he didn't want to go someplace.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that set up
with
Bruce? Like, is he going down there to sit on the beach, or is he going down there to, like, play damn football?
I can't imagine he's going down there to do anything other than play football. And you brought up the size difference in Rob. Remember how startling it was to see him a couple of months after retirement and being skinny and really happy. Also, he's going to have to put some of that weight back on.
Would you not be happy if you went to work and there was a big marijuana field in your office?
I would think he would. He's shown the ability to work. He's shown the ability to have a good work ethic. And for whatever reason, the Patriot way wear down on him to the point to where he was still willing to go out there and do that work. During the season, he just wasn't having fun doing it. Now he is in Tampa Bay, reunited with Tom Brady. He's going to be having fun. I have to believe that work ethic is still there.
You think he's going to beef back up and go nuts?
Yeah, I think he's going to. I believe he's certainly going to get bigger.
Do you think he's going to be the physical beast that Rob?
No.
Because he was one of the most physically dominating tight ends in the history of our sport. I mean, he was like the original. Like back in the day, I remember Mark Bavaro. Like he looked like Rambo playing football for the Jets and stuff, and the Giants or up in New York. I can't remember. Giants. Mark Bavaro. And he was like a physical tight end.
Yeah.
You didn't see physical tight ends, though, that could also catch, 3 touchdowns in their career. Like, that didn't go. It was like you block or you caught. Bavaro was that big guy who blocked. Gronk was one of the best blocking tight ends, but it was also the best receiving tight end we'd seen in forever.
No, he's not going to be the same because he's 31. But even on the tail end of these careers, of these great careers, we've seen athletes still be much, much better than their peers. The Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, like that is not Jordan in his peak. That is Jordan on the back end of his career, but he was so great that on his way down, he was still better than a lot of other players in the NBA. And we talked about reading. in that first segment, and how it's hard to read things that you don't enjoy reading. It's hard to have to read when you're not having fun. It's also hard to do other things when you're not having fun. It's hard to go into work when you're not having fun. That's why I appreciate you, John. It is hard to go to football practice and take those hits and play those games and lift those weights and go through the rehab process when you're not having fun. It's just difficult. Now that he is someplace else, someplace that is not necessarily a Patriots way sort of thing. The Patriots, Bill Belichick has a large coaching tree. I don't think Arians is under that tree, so it's a different sort of environment altogether. I think that Gronk is going to be more than okay. I think Gronk is going to be an upgrade from the tight end options that they had available to them before this trade happened. And we don't talk about it enough. And we excuse a lot of things because you're winning, you're successful. And if you're successful and that works for you, great. But it might not work for everybody else. And Rob Gronkowski, the goofball that he is going to need to be someplace where he's having a bit of fun. And I think that fun matters. That fun will get that extra bit of oomph out. That fun will get that extra rep out. You know, it is, okay, I got to do sprints, or I got to lift these weights, or I got to go through rehab. Man, I really don't want to. And then you do it, and you're having fun while doing it. You're having fun interacting with your teammates. You're having fun with the medical personnel. You're having fun with the training staff. And it's, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay here a little bit longer. I'm going to knock out a couple of extra reps here. And I think that is what having fun might do for Rob Gronkowski.
And a lot of people today can actually understand it, because I've never heard as many people today, due to the coronavirus, say, wow, I didn't know how much I missed work.
Oh, we got a special caller on the phone right now. Dr. Flynn, president of the company, has dialed in. Dr. Flynn, how's it going?
Oh, doing fine. I always enjoy listening to you early in the morning.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Getting started up. You two are good, great team, and I know we can't. I think you're right. We cannot wait to get back to work, get back to some phase of normal, even though normal will be a new normal. But we're all anticipating getting back to work and getting back into our normal routine. And some people are having to stay home and say, if this is what retirement is like, I'm never going to retire. So it's been really, really something. But I just wanted to talk with you for a minute or two about what happens when we reopen. What happens when the state reopens. And I know Governor Lee is thinking about, or has said, we're going to reopen sometime in the next week or week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
I think it was May 1st.
Yeah, it's going to be different for Shelby County. It's going to be different for the big populous areas, because he left that to the mayors. And so the mayors will decide, because we have our own health departments, and our health departments will decide when we open. But here's the basic thing. When we open, it doesn't mean the virus is gone. It doesn't mean things are over. It just means we can relax the social distancing rules, or the stay-at-home rules, a little bit, but social distancing must still be in there. And I really suggest you wear a mask when you're out, and make sure you wash your hands a lot, and stay 6 to 8 feet apart. And I just want everybody to do the maximum to not get this coronavirus, because we're going to find a treatment for it. We're going to find a vaccine for it. And the key to it is for us to stay healthy until all of that's found. Why isn't it found now? We don't have any experience with it. They're developing a vaccine. There's really not a vaccine for Ebola yet. And that was a long time ago. And they're working tirelessly to get a vaccine out. And one group says they'll have one out in September. I think that's a little bit optimistic, but it's going to be a while. But for a while, we're going to have to reel from the health and the economic impacts of this. And I just can't wait for us to get back to normal, whatever our new normal is, and get on with life, and make sure that this never happens again.
Here.
And I've got a plan. I'm running for U.S. Senate, and I've got a plan out there. I won't go into it, but I just want to make sure that everyone makes sure that they maintain that social distancing when you're out shopping, when you're out doing whatever you're doing. It's going to be a strange thing, and you're going to see a lot of your friends still wearing masks. And don't take this virus and don't say, I'm not afraid of this virus. You don't have to be afraid of it. Respect it. That's all I'm saying is respect what it can do to you. It doesn't have to do it. And, the media plays up everybody that dies from it. And they don't play up the 95 to 98% of people that don't have any problems with it. They have it. They have something like the flu. They have fever. They feel terrible for, a week, and then they're over it. But we do play up the people that pass away and the people on ventilators, and we do play up the negative of it. But not that there's positive of it, but getting coronavirus, if you're diagnosed with it, it doesn't mean a death sentence. So that's what I'm trying to get across. Let's respect it. Let's not try. Who would want to go out and try to catch the flu? You don't do that. You just avoid the heck out of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's nobody goes out there trying to catch diseases, but if you catch it, chances are if you're healthy, you don't have the comorbidities or the chronic illnesses, or you're not part of the elderly. You got a good immune system. You're going to in most cases be okay. Dr. Flynn, what I want to know is, how have you been spending your quarantine time? Have you picked up watching any of these shows or movies? Have you picked up any new hobbies or anything like that?
I have found more movies that I didn't like that I still don't like.
Really?
And I've rewatched the movies that I really liked, and it's been a lot of fun doing that. But I'm like everybody else. I'm about tired of this. Now, I'm able to practice medicine by teleradiology and reading films at a distance, but it is a challenge. And all of my fellow physicians that are on the front lines, they are brave people. They know what they're getting into, and yet they're charging forth. And it's just, I liken them, and I'm not on the front line as much as they are, but I liken them to the firemen and the police and the that are rushing into the World Trade Center. These people are rushing in to help people, and they're remembering their Hippocratic oath to get out there and help people, and that's what they're about. And my hat's off to them every day. The nurses, the hospital workers, the doctors' offices. These patients are seen in doctors' offices, and they're still open to seeing patients. And then we do a lot of X-rays and things like that to help them out. But it is a challenge. And my hat's off to businesses and the Memphis Restaurant Association. They're saying, well, we got to have a real good plan to open, because they do not want to expose their customers to coronavirus. They want to keep everyone safe, and they're sacrificing finances I've come up with this thing. It's a battle between health and wealth. And so we've got to open up, but we've got to open up in a manner in which the wealth comes back up, but we maintain the health. So believe me, I congratulate everyone in Memphis, Shelby County, and the listening area, because you have done your job, and we have flattened this curve, but it's not over. It's not over. We won one of the battles, but the war is not over. So you know how it is. You get to the last 2 minutes of the game, and you think, "Oh, we can sail through." Don't do that. We've seen too many NBA games lost and won in the last 2 minutes. So we're in the last we're in the second half of this game, but we've done well in the first half. So let's don't blow the lead that we've got.
You mentioned that, Dr. Flynn, and it puts me in the mind. Set John, who did Tennessee blow the lead to? Supposed to be in cover 3, and the safety relaxed a little bit and got beat earlier this season. Was that Georgia Southern?
Are you talking about the Vols?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Titans.
No.
Early in the year.
One of their.
I think
losses.
it was Georgia Southern.
I think it was Georgia Southern. They had a situation where Dr. Flynn, the Vols were ahead. It looked like they were going to win the game. Time was about to run out. Everybody, all they had to do was just bat the ball down. Don't let anybody get behind them. And somebody got
Georgia
behind
State.
them. Georgia State. In the Georgia State game. And somebody relaxed a little bit and allowed a big play, and Tennessee went on to lose that game. We're in a similar situation right now where we have done enough to flatten the curve out, where we have done enough to have the coronavirus, COVID-19, beat. All we've got to do is not relax and not let our guard down.
That's exactly right. And, you know, I remember that game because, of course, I listened and you talked about it. And the other one is I want to have some more, since I went to Ole Miss. Come on, Rebels. Let's win some games here when we have our season. Come on, Rebels. And the other team that I adamantly support is the Memphis State Tigers. Tigers, Penny Hardaway is doing a fantastic job with them. And I just support the football Tigers, the basketball Tigers, the Lady Tigers, the basketball Tigers. It's a fabulous program. We're right here. We've got everything to do with it, and we can win this entire thing. The city, the county, our area is coming up in sports. We're coming up economically, and health-wise, we're going to maintain the excellence that we have. So thank you very much for letting me be on here with you.
Thank you, Dr. Flynn, very much. 2 suggestions on things to watch. I know you said you watched movies that you didn't like and you still don't like them. Watch Tiger King and watch McMillions. I think you'll enjoy those.
Let me ask you about somebody, I've had 3 people tell me about Tiger King. Is that really that engrossing? Because I almost turned it on.
I think it's
last
disturbing.
Night, so.
It is every bit as engrossing as people say it is. I don't want to tell you anything else about it. I want you to just see it and go on the ride on your own, man. But yes, it is every bit as engrossing as everybody says it is.
Okay, well, I may have to call you tomorrow and tell you, was it good or was it bad?
And you did say one thing, Dr. Flynn, that you are going to run for the 2020 U.S. Senate.
I am currently running, and it has changed the way we're campaigning. We're campaigning more doing online and things like that because social distancing. It's hard to go out and shake hands and hug people and all that stuff, but and kiss babies. You just don't do that anymore. Especially in this climate, but online we're doing great. I've been very impressed with the online response. So it's doing great. Nobody's paying much attention to the race as yet because we're all focused on coronavirus and getting us back to some phase of normal in the United States. So I appreciate each one of you. Thank you for continuing, and I watch you on camera. So I see you. Rich, remember, don't touch your face. Okay, thank you.
I can't. Have a good one, Dr. Flynn. We got to get to a break. On the other side, we'll talk more about the trade of Gronkowski from the Patriots to the Bucks and what that might mean from an NFL draft standpoint. Next, you're listening to Sports 56 Mornings right here on Real Sports Talk, 560 AM, 87.7 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Hey everybody, our friends at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch care about you, and they've heard from so many who really want to buy a new Chevrolet truck or car or need service or parts right now, and they are listening. GM has financing as low as 0 interest for as much as 84 months, and you could be payment free for up to 4 months, but your safety is number one. So everybody at All-Star Chevrolet is doing everything to provide service, parts, and anything you need in the safest way possible. They can pick up and deliver your vehicle for service and even deliver parts if you want. And everything is sanitized and safe for you to visit anytime. Call for an appointment or find what you want online, and someone at All-Star will arrange a virtual test drive for a safer test behind the wheel. Doesn't matter if it's a Silverado, a Traverse, an all-new Blazer, maybe a new Suburban or Equinox. But remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
This is Peter Edmiston from Sports 56 Mornings. During this coronavirus pandemic, all of us at Sports 56 urge you to please stay home, practice social distancing, and wash your hands often. While you're home, stay connected with Sports 56. Turn us on your radio, phone, computer, or smart speaker and stay up to date and connected. This is a tough time for everyone, but we will get through it if we all do our part. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay connected with Sports 56 and sports56whbq.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Mid-South Power Distributors. Here once again are Peter and C.J.
And cutting. Perfect.
California girl.
I just wanted to see Katy Perry.
What's the theme today, John?
It's going to be a Wild Wednesday.
Oh,
Wacky
wow.
Wild
Wacky
Wednesday.
Wild. Okay. All right. Wacky Wild Wednesday. Welcome in. And it's been wacky and wild so far. We've talked about Gronkowski being traded.
Which is completely not a joke. It is not the Onion. It's the truth. And as wacky and wild as it is, CJ ain't lying.
Gotten some texts about some of your favorite books to get to as well from school. Catch that door for me, John. Texter texted in and said The Color Purple. Say, oh, okay. I did not read Color Purple. I watched the movie, though. It was a great movie. Another texter texted in and said, Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies are really good. Again,
That was
I really enjoyed it.
disturbing to me. I guess I was a kid. Like, kids like going cannibal, man.
Yeah, like that ending was rough. But the conversations they were having, the issues that they were having, how it pertained to the world that they came from and the world that we were living in, I really liked the juxtaposition and I guess the allegorical nature of what was being said and be going on in the book. It was good to me. My man Piggy, boy, they did Piggy so wrong. Oh, Ralph, Sam, and the rest of them got to look out for the weak, man. You have to. If you're a society that eats your weak, chances are you're not very good. But thank you, Texas, for texting in those things. We had Dr. Flynn call in as well. If you missed any portion of the show so far, be sure to check us out, sports56whbq.com on the web, or holla at us on the Sports 56 app. You can watch us live as well. Watch us live and message us at Sports56WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram.
And don't forget, Doc's he is running for the United States Senate, baby, 2020.
You know anything about this new commit to the Memphis Tigers basketball, Connor Glennon?
No.
Okay.
That is very funny that you mentioned that, because I had somebody else ask me that, and I literally said, I'm not a draft crazy person. They're like, but you're a Tiger crazy person. And I said, yeah, for the guys that I really feel are going to make a difference.
I couldn't find much about him. And I try not to be stereotypical too much, but he's a sneaky athlete. He's definitely a sneaky athlete. Looks like he might be a shooter. That is just me assuming, though. That is me being very, very bad.
I was
going to
say, let me, never mind.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
It is, yeah. That is what.
He could be related to Austin Nichols.
Okay, all right. He gives you some of those vibes. He does. So the Tigers got that commitment yesterday. I'm not sure what that means for them, but they got one. They got another one. We're going to spin the wheel. Right now, it's been a busy week for the Tigers with Landers Nolly deciding to transfer to Memphis, and now you got this kid deciding he's going to play for the Tigers as well. Conversation wheel of conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to spin that right now. We got a lot of great stories on here. We talked about teams we'd like to be a part of. We've talked about work stories, interesting work stories. John and them are shooting frozen rolls at people in that gut region.
I was not the one doing it. I just witnessed it. It wasn't my idea. I just placed bets.
You played bet? Y'all bet on it?
Yeah, we did.
As the wheel is being spun.
But I want to tell everybody, like, if you're out there struggling with because the economy, coronavirus, maybe you got renters who can't pay, life is just changing as we know it. And I'm going to tell you, I got a man named Bill at 901-406-1101, and I'm serious of a heart attack. Cash in a flash. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. That's any house, any area, as is, as simple as that. Call 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at iBuyHouses. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house.
Landed on my favorite topic.
Ladies.
We're calling Zach at 8:30.
Zachary boy!
We're calling Similac Zach at 8:30 to see what Zach's got going on. We got a caller to get to on the First Bank text line. Feel free to call in 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines like Dan did. Dan, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. First of all, on that recruit you're talking about, that Penny got, the walk-on, he's going to fill a need. He's going to be the guy that, we got a big lead with 2 minutes left, everybody in the stadium cheers for him to score and shoot.
Okay.
The guy that comes off the bench when we have a big lead and everybody goes bananas when he makes a three you're talking about in the final 20 seconds? Dan, I think you nailed it.
And
I wasn't going to say it.
O.J. Howard, Tampa Bay would trade for a grilled cheese sandwich. That guy's lived off his potential since Alabama.
He's lived off that one national championship game, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And that's all he's ever done. Trust me, I get him every year in my fantasy league. And that's dropping him by the 5th week.
Dan, thank you so much for calling in, man. Take care.
Okay, hey, guys, I've won the book I had to read that was really good.
Oh, what is it?
And it was the movie Bang the Drum Slowly with Robert De Niro and John Boyd.
Okay,
really,
yeah.
You ever seen that one, CJ?
I have not seen that one. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, really good movie. De Niro's got cancer, and Boyd's the starting pitcher, and a big contract coming up. And he said, if you keep De Niro, I'll sign for less. But it's a really good movie, real sad, like Brian's song.
All right, thanks, Dan, for calling in. Take care, man.
All right, guys.
We got more to get to. Keep those text and phone calls coming in. Books that you read as in school. Books you read in school that that really resonated with you, that you really enjoyed. O.J. Howard, Rob Gronkowski, Cam Brake. Keep those texts coming in as well. Those calls coming in as well. Don't forget, at 9 o'clock, Rob Fisher's going to join us. We're going to talk about his new lumberjacking skills, the Grizzlies deciding to do some of those playoff replays, and more. Don't you go anywhere. You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter and CJ right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Oh, children from my brood, they come and bring me food. Maybe open up a window for air. Oh, just now, I smell the cornbread, babe.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, plus free access to specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
During the draft, we recognized the best, and Lowe's is doing the same for their associates who have really stepped it up during this crisis, like Assistant Store Manager Ken Romanowski in Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, who worked with the chief of the West Reading Ambulance Association to build protective face shields and prep disinfecting spray for EMS stretchers to protect emergency personnel. And don't miss, the other Lowe's associates will announce this Thursday during the draft here on Fox Sports Radio.
Sports 56 would like to recognize local businesses that are out there providing for the community. Let's support local business with your business. Memphis Hearing Aid, providing better hearing. Campbell Investments, buying distressed properties including foreclosures and tax sales. Germantown Village Wines and Liquors, doing curbside. In South Bank, drive through till 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Corks Wines and Liquors. Sports 56 appreciates the support of local businesses always, but especially during this time. Thank you.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Melts in the sea, eventually.
Welcome back. Thank you, Eric. Eric hit me up on the Twitter. Let me know that Glennon is a preferred walk-on. 247 Christian Fowler had that report out there. So thank you very much, Eric. Thank you, Dan, for calling in and clearing some confusion up for me. It's like, why can't I find anything on this guy? What is going on here?
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, I really couldn't find. I had no clue what was going on. I was like, oh, okay.
I was being funny. Like, I didn't want to say what Dan said.
I'm like, oh, okay. What's going on here? What's the deal with this? Because I'm so you're used to Penny Hardaway. If he gets a recruit, like this guy is somebody, everybody's like, oh, no, he's playing immediately and he's one and done. They're all going pro. Remember last year? Lester Keon is one and done.
Lester's gone.
He's going to have to,
Precious.
He's going to have to retool the whole roster. All these dudes are going to be gone. So I'm used to those types of recruits. You hit me with Connor Glennon, no disrespect to Connor. You hit me with that, and I'm looking around like, okay, where the stars at? Why can't I find any
Connor,
of this
you're going to know
stars?
that name because he's probably going to coach someday.
Great locker room presence, I bet. Welcome back in. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. We've spent some time talking about the Patriots' decision to trade Gronkowski. Gronk really forcing their hand to trade him or stay retired. And if you're the Patriots, why would you let Gronk stay retired when you can go out there and get a 4th-round pick for him? So it's a win in that instance, but they don't get a tight end back in the deal, so they are going to be in need of a tight end. And do you, John, still trust the Patriots from an organizational standpoint? Do you still trust that Patriots way?
Robert Kraft is still the owner, and he is smart enough to give it over to Bill Belichick and get the hell out the way and just go down to Jupiter, Florida, and hang out at, what is it, Passion's Day Spa? Or is it the Lovely Flower and the Orchid Cupid?
I don't remember what the spa is.
What is it, Tulips? Have you ever heard the tulip joke?
Lotus flower. But do you still trust them?
Actually,
it feels
I'm
like
not joking, and when I say this, and I'm being dead serious. When Robert Kraft took over, he had just broke the bank with Drew Bledsoe, and then Mo Lewis broke Drew Bledsoe, and they took the 199th pick, and yes, Tom Brady is bad to the bone, and they turned, and he went on and kept winning, did he not?
From let me check my notes here.
Let me check. Didn't he get 6 Super Bowls? Yeah, lost 2 to Peyton. I mean, Eli for some reason.
The thing that is crazy.
But here's what I was going
to
say. Wait. But just to remind you, he also, this is where I want to, he won games with Matt Castle, Jimmy G, Jacoby Brissett. Anytime Tom went out and was replaced by somebody, look how much Jacoby Brissett's turned into being the backup for Tom Brady. Look how much money Jimmy G's made out to go to San Francisco. They have done a damn good job at doing what? Getting a quarterback late, bringing him in, developing the hell out of him, and heck, he goes on to star for Mike Shanahan in San Francisco and played in last year's Super Bowl, Jimmy G. Patriots have done what? Pick quarterbacks and develop the hell out of them.
So you still trust them?
I trust them. Damn right I do.
The wild thing, the thing I wanted to interrupt and say, not only did they get to all those Super Bowls, but they've won that division since like 2010, maybe? It's been a while since the Patriots lost in the AFC East. I think the last year they didn't win that division. I think, I'll double check, but one of those quarterbacks you brought up, Castle was the quarterback at the time because Brady had that lower leg injury where his leg snapped. And to me, it feels different, though. Oftentimes, these franchises take a step back when they lose stud player. They come back down a bit. And with the Patriots, it's been 3 guys. It's been Kraft, it's been Brady, it's been Belichick. Losing Brady, the one of the faces of the franchise, for a franchise who moves on from players relatively quickly. Think about how they traded Richard Seymour. Think about moving on from others as well, when you would think you'd want to keep them around for a little bit longer, and the Patriots get out of those deals, out of those contracts, and get value in return for them. It is odd. It is rare that you see the Patriots keep a player past his prime like they did with Tom Brady. But it's Tom Brady. It's the quarterback. You're going to do those things. And I get that. I wonder, though, what is going on there. And if it is, how effective, how great was Tom Brady? Because while they won games with those quarterbacks, they didn't get to the playoffs with Castle. Now, granted, that was an 11-5 season, and the Patriots somehow missed the playoffs. So even missing the playoffs, they were really, really good. But the only quarterback they've known in this run was Tom Brady. And it is great that they go out there and they have these quarterbacks getting developed in their quarterback room. Jacoby Brissett. John brought up Jimmy G. But Jimmy G and Jacoby Brissett are gone. That is the thing for me. What the Patriots have been good at is moving on from a stud player with a new stud player on the rise, emerging in their ranks. And then they move on from that star. They elevate the young star, and they ride that young star and do it all over again. There's got to be a young stud, a young star behind, a star in the making behind that stud that you're moving on from. And the Patriots, because Tom Brady felt like the end was coming in a way, decided, hey, Robert, you got to do something. It's either Jimmy G or me. You got to move Jimmy G. And Robert Kraft decided, hey, we're going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, much to the displeasure and the dismay of Bill Belichick, because that was the guy. We've seen what Jimmy G can do. Is he Drew Brees? No. Aaron Rodgers? No. He's not that. But he did get his team, was a piece on that team that got to the playoffs and got to the Super Bowl, won the NFC. That is the Jimmy G that the Patriots moved on from. And you have to believe that they would like to have him back. They would like to have him. And in an ideal world, they would have moved on from Brady and had Jimmy G lined up in the wings, or moved on from Brady and have Jacoby Brissett lined up waiting. That is one of the things that the Patriots have going. The machine that is the Patriot. It is we're going to move this star before the tail end of his career, and we're going to elevate this guy right as he's coming into his prime. He's got time. He had time to grow. He had time to develop. He's ready to go right now. We're going to elevate him. He's going to burst onto the scene. Everybody's going to be like, where did he come from? He came from right here. We grew him. We developed him. We got him where he is right now, where he needs to be. And I don't think that the Patriots have that at the quarterback position. I don't think Stidham is that.
See, that's what I'm saying, though, but, like, this is what makes me laugh. It's kind of like, here's what I'm trying to say is, I always say that it's pretty simple. Bill Walsh is the greatest coach that ever coached in the NFL. He changed the game more than anybody. He created the 49er dynasty. He created that offense. He got, 6 division championships, 3 NFC championships, 3 Super Bowls, and then said, peace, I'm out. George, take over. I'm going to go sit up in the booth and do my thing. Bill Walsh was the bomb. Bill Belichick came in and does it different. Like, he's a defensive-minded guy, but he's more of like a puzzle piece. He lets his guys do his thing. But the one thing for a defensive man, Bill Walsh recognized Joe Montana, Steve Young. They kept bringing out quarterback talent. Like, he hit on quarterbacks, and they weren't first-round dudes. They were good quarterbacks. Joe was good at Notre Dame, and then Young went to the USFL at first. But anyway, point is, and he was at BYU, a super stud. But you look at what they just constantly brought in quarterbacks. How are you going to replace Joe Montana? Oh, with a super stud in Steve Young. Mm-hmm. How are you going to replace Drew Bledsoe? Oh, with Tom Brady. How are you going to replace with Tom Brady? Dude, you've already replaced him with Jimmy G, but you had to get rid of him. What I'm saying is if you look at that Patriot organization, tell me an organization that right now has more quarterbacks starting in the National Football League. You got Tom Brady starting down in Tampa. You had Brissett starting in Indy. You had Jimmy G starting for the 49ers. Tom Brady was in a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Jimmy G was there last year. Like, them developing, them identifying talent, picking them, bringing them into their program and developing. No way I'm going to doubt until Bill Belichick is gone, just like I would never doubt Bill Walsh.
Not only is it the development, but it's the versatility in coaching. You brought that up. And Belichick's ability to go with the flow. He's not so set on one system.
They'll throw one year, they'll run one year, they'll play a 4-3, they'll play a 3. Each game, they switch from game to game.
They'll go wild.
They'll run 40 times in one game. The next week, they'll throw the ball 50 damn times. They'll run a 3-4. Next week, they'll run a 4-3. They'll run, they literally their team matches up to beat your damn team, and that's what makes Bill Belichick so good. He doesn't look at his team and say, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it well, damn it. He looks and says, where's the weaknesses on their defense? Okay, we're going to pick this apart. Where's their strengths? Okay, we're going to take this stuff away, and we're going to let our best beat their best, and usually because of coaching, they end up winning.
I don't know why more coaches can't be that way. I don't understand.
Because change is hard, and they change weekly.
You got to winning has got to be at the top of the list of priorities, and so if you are able to win by being more versatile and not getting so set in your ways, and this is what the Patriots have that some of these other franchises don't, and it is the willingness, not only the ability, but the willingness to change what you're doing and how you're doing it. And change it to fit what you have. You know, one of the things we talked about Jalen Hurts some yesterday and needing to go to a team, an organization that's not going to try and make him fit into their system. Try and get him someplace where you look at him and you say, okay, this is what he can do. We're going to design stuff so he can go out there and do that. And it seems simple enough. You don't try and bake a cake when you only have ingredients for fried chicken. Like, you don't do that. But if you got ingredients for fried chicken, you fry the chicken, you make it. A lot of teams, a lot of franchises, a lot of coaches get so set in their ways that they are stuck trying to force players into a system that doesn't fit their skill set and what they can do. And they would be much better utilized if you built a system or had a system based around what the individual player is able to do. And the Patriots have that. The Patriots can do that. I am interested, one of the storylines, this is one of the storylines I'm interested to see, is what the Patriots are right now. As versatile as Bill Belichick wants to be, as versatile as he is and as different as the Patriots are, I don't think Stidham allows for much of that.
But we don't know, because here's what I'm going to remind you. Jared Stidham, we saw him in Auburn. We saw him at Baylor first, and he was great. Everybody was going bananas. Then all the mess happens at Baylor. He goes to Auburn, has a great year, his first year. Second year, I've already explained to y'all. You can look it up. There is not a quarterback who has ever duplicated their first year under Gus Malzahn. Every quarterback who has come back for year 2, and God forbid you come back for a year 3 under Gus, has gotten worse. It's just you can go look it up as a statistical fact. Cam Newton played one season, or he would have gotten worse, damn it. But I'm just saying, Gus is not good with quarterbacks. You take Stidham. We hadn't seen this guy. You put him a year behind Tom Brady. You put him a year in the Patriot way. You put him a year of getting all that knowledge. Hell, he's 6'4". He's got a cannon. He can run like a mug, and he can throw every damn ball. There has never been a question about Jared Stidham's arm, his smarts, his athletic ability. He was the number two dual threat quarterback coming out of high school behind Kyler Murray. You see what I'm saying? People forget how athletic Jared Stidham is. This is a guy who goes out there and ran the same 40 as Jalen Hurts, and we're talking about Jalen Hurts, but he couldn't throw the damn ball like Jalen Hurts. Jared Stidham can actually throw the damn football. I think people are forgetting the athlete and that Jared Stidham really is. This is a legit prospect. He looks also just like Tom Brady. And by the way, remember, nobody gave a damn about Tom Brady until he got in there. Nobody gave a damn about Matt Cassable. Nobody gives a damn about Jacoby Brissett right now. But guess what? Jacoby got $50 million, and it ain't because he's that good a quarterback. It's because people were thinking, oh, well, he's a great quarterback when he's with the Patriots. Well, he was a pretty good quarterback with the Patriots because that's their way, and their way is just winning, baby.
While Castle, we saw what type of starting quarterback Castle was.
Castle couldn't even start at USC.
It wasn't with the Patriots, though, but it wasn't.
We saw him at Kansas City,
and it
couldn't do it.
It wasn't that great.
He was a lot better in New England.
It is, and that might be the deal. But we've seen
it might be the deal for Tom Brady, too.
You got to be in New England for it to work. But we've seen some of these backups to Tom Brady, some of these backups in New England in that Belichick-Brady era, not really be that great. Ryan Mallett is one that immediately comes to mind. Another one of these quarterbacks.
Well, Ryan also got arrested for, he got literally, I think, more rest for doing blow than he did throwing touchdowns. I mean, if you're sitting there, like the Patriot way is not doing coke in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. I don't think that's anybody's way, John. I don't think that's just the Patriots' way.
I mean,
be
Aaron Hernandez really
be-
screwed up too, and he was a Patriot, but again, he was successful while he was doing it the Patriot way. But then, of course, when he stopped doing it the Patriot way in the offseason, it went really south.
Just because you're the backup to Tom Brady doesn't mean that you are going to be super good or good enough to do what Bill Belichick wants you to do. Jimmy G is. I think Jacoby Brissett is.
If Bill Belichick says,
but I still have questions about Stidham, man.
If Bill Belichick says that, like, and I don't know if you read the high praise that he gave Jarrett Stidham or my man McDaniels did on his way. I mean, they came out and said they said he's better than Matt Castle. Jimmy, he said he's the best athlete they've had at the quarterback position, period. He's a better athlete than Jimmy G, Matt Castle, Brian Hoyer, 4 times the athlete that Tom Brady is, and he can make literally every throw. It's about him learning the position, and he gets to sit a year behind the best.
I don't know if he can learn the position, though. And you're naming some of these quarterbacks. As great as it was that Jacoby got paid, Jacoby's not going to start this year.
No, what I'm saying though is he went out and got paid because people thought, but he was winning was Jacoby winning in New England?
Yes.
Yep. Was Matt Castle winning in New England? Yes. Why? Because they win in New England. Doesn't matter who they throw back there because they develop everybody. They ask everybody to do their damn job. Nothing more, nothing less. Tom Brady doesn't throw the ball 100 times a game, 50 yards down the field. He dinks and dunks and dinks and dunks and dinks and dunks and might throw one down the field to, Rob Gronkowski when he was there and hands the ball off a hell of a lot. Back in James White, go all the way back to Corey Dillon. They play football in a team manner. The offensive line is going to be strong. Everybody's going to go and do their damn job. And one thing about a quarterback, if everybody's doing their damn job and you do your job, you're going to be successful.
That certainly makes it easier. You think we're going to get that dink and dunk stuff down in Tampa Bay now?
Bruce Arians does not run that style.
So why
watched him with Carson Palmer.
Why?
I don't. No. This is what I'm going to find out. How good of a coach Bruce Arians is. Is Bruce Arians going to switch things up? Because Carson Palmer, the best year Bruce Arians ever had, he's got a big arm quarterback who could push the ball way down the damn field to Larry Fitzgerald and, big, John Brown and all these speedsters. And I just don't know if, Mike Evans can do anything. So, he's got Mike Evans. That's a bad mamma jamma. He's got a lot of weapons. One thing you got to say is, when has Tom Brady, in all honesty, had the type of weapons that he's got now? Because he has Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Ronald Jones II, and he just has O.J. Howard, Cameron Braid, and they picked up Rob Gronkowski. That's some damn weapons. Can he get the ball to him?
He's had weapons before. That Randy Moss year, he had Randy Moss. He had
that was a long time ago, dude.
It was a long time ago. I'm not saying
you trying to say
recently.
he's had like literally.
No.
Tell me that no. He had one. Like Randy Moss was for 2 seasons, and how many championships they get?
Randy. So he was Rob on that team too? Was Aaron Hernandez there? Okay. He's had weapons before, and he's made use of them. Sure, it was a long time ago, though. You're right on that. It was a long time ago. It's been a while since he's had weapons like this who could actually stretch the field. Big receiver.
That was 2007, I think.
Was it that long? It was that long ago. My God. Oh, man.
I'm pulling it up. It's harder to find than you think.
But he's had receivers.
Oh, I didn't just look up Giants Super Bowl wins.
You could do that. He's had receivers who could take the top off. Brandon Cooks was something like that, but he was a smaller receiver. He hadn't had receivers like this, like big, physical, and can take the tops off a defense like a Mike Evans can. He hadn't had the underneath runners like a Chris Godwin and a flyer. Godwin is a flyer. He has not had somebody who can just get down the field like Godwin. Is his arm strong enough to get it there? We saw Peyton Manning the second year in Denver just not be able to push the ball downfield. When is it going to happen to Tom? When is physically his body just going to be like, nope, we can't make these throws anymore? Because it's going to happen. And when it happens, Bruce Arians is going to have to change some of the way these routes are run. It can't just be, hey, we're going to push the ball down the field. I think that's why they went out and got Gronk for that.
Plus, Tom doesn't like to
blanket.
get hit. He gets rid of the ball very fast. He likes
Or
to
he
go
just
to the
falls.
line of scrimmage. He likes to go to the line of scrimmage, pre-snap read, figure out where the hell he's going to go with the football, and get rid of the football quickly and accurately.
Yes. So is Arians going to be willing to change up his offense in a way to help Brady out with some of that? That is something else to keep an eye on. And what are they going to do with these 3 tight ends?
Get rid of one of them?
Which one
Probably
do you think
OJ.
it is?
OJ, gin and juice, even though he's got the most potential. Like my man Dan called in and said, he is living off one national championship game. Dude, he is the guy that walks around and looks like the football player, but then plays like Jane. Not like Tarzan is what I'm saying.
Brait went out on more passing routes. And I would think you are getting Gronk for the passing route ability.
Even though he was the best blocking tight end ever, but now Gronk was.
So
now I don't know what he's going to be.
Because we don't know what Gronk is going to be after a year off. And part of what made Gronk so good, the thing that made Rob Gronkowski so good was the fact he's a freak athlete. That is just what he is. We don't make people that big, that physical, who can run that fast with those types of hands. And is that all still there? And what is he going to have to do to put that weight back on? We talked about it, to get back to looking like a football player, not a dude kicking it on the beach. And how many steps has he lost? We all lose steps as we get older. How much slower is he? And is he still going to be a threat in the red zone, especially, but a threat to stretch the field? While he struggled, you brought up the fact he struggled the last year he played in 2018, only 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, but he did have that huge touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Was it a touchdown or was it just a big play?
He got down to like the 2-yard line.
It was a big play in the Super Bowl.
And then they handed the ball off and he ran it in.
And ran it in for a touchdown. He had a couple of big plays in that AFC Championship game as well. If you remember correctly, the Chiefs just had no answer for what Gronk was able to do. So if he can give you some of that,
I just
he's certainly
Googled
worth
best
it.
blocking tight end. Do you remember what I compared him to?
No.
Mark Bavaro.
Okay.
Guess what? The first thing when you put Gronk blocking tight end, it says, on Wednesday, Patriots coach Bill Belichick praised tight end Rob Gronkowski as one of the team's best run blockers and went so far as to say that Gronkowski was along with former Giants tight end Mark Bavaro when it comes to blocking. That's per Bill Belichick. I didn't read it before. I just wanted to pat myself on the back. Thanks.
And having a blocking tight end helps if you struggle at that tackle position, because then you can put that tight end over there to help you out.
Dude,
and
they
make
go
that
double
run
tight
game,
all day,
and
man.
make that run game more potent, and get teams thinking about not able to single out that right tackle or left tackle. It helps to have a tight end who can block for you as well. Think about what George Kittle's able to do with the 49ers. It certainly helps.
The good thing is, too, you don't know if he's going to block or run, and that's the scary thing about him coming off the line. He can go down there and block down real quick, and then he releases late on a little screen. Gronk's running down the field, or Brait's running down the field, or, heck, even OJ.
We talked about...
We don't talk about OJ running anymore, though, do we?
No.
Not after the car chase.
Talk about Howard. Call him Howard. We talked about, and really we've been talking for a while about versatility as it pertains to draftees in the NFL draft. But, yes, Gronk does allow versatility also. That's why you want versatility. It allows you, again, to schematically change things and be unpredictable from a scheme standpoint without having to change lineups, without having to change player personnel. That's going to be huge. Can Gronk do that? We'll find out. We will certainly find out. We've got some calls to get to, some texts to get to as well. We'll do so on the other side, and we'll have our Will conversation. By our Will conversation, I mean we're going to call someone like Zach, see what he's up to. Don't you dare touch that dial. Don't you go anywhere. You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings right here on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallo and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
This is CJ Hurt from Sports 56 Mornings. During this coronavirus pandemic, many of you are spending all day at home, and we remind you that you can stay in touch and connected through Sports 56. Turn us on your radio, computer, phone, or smart speaker and stay up to date and connected. Meanwhile, keep practicing social distancing and remember to wash your hands often, and hopefully before long, we can get back to some sort of normalcy. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay connected with Sports 56 and Sports56WHBQ.com.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. How old is your water heater? With most of the water heaters in the Mid-South located in the attic, the worst day you can replace your water heater is one day too late. It may be time for a tankless water heater from Conway Services that never runs out of hot water. Plus, these energy-saving models only heat the water you use, saving you money on your gas bill every month. Most 10-year-old water heaters were about 65% efficient when they were new, compared to a tankless water heater from Conway Services that's up to 98% efficient. Plus, right now, get your tankless water heater from Conway Services for as low as $79 per month, or I'll give you $300 for that old tanked water heater. And no more worrying about that tank bursting in your attic either. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier tankless water heater professionals at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old water heater will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Sports 56 would like to recognize local businesses that are out there still feeding and providing for the community via curbside pickup. Let's support local business with your business. These local businesses include Central Barbecue, Sunrise, Sweetgrass, Humdingers, Germantown Commissary, Jason's Deli, Corky's, East Coast Wings, Moe's, and Soulfish Cafe. Sports 56 appreciates the support of local businesses always, but especially during this time. Thank you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Dripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams, but everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair. And we'll
Welcome back. Who is this, John?
Lord.
Okay. Happy Earth Day, everybody, by the way. It's Earth Day. John just yelled that at me that it was Earth Day. So happy Earth Day, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're celebrating this year with the physical distancing and the quarantining, but celebrate however you can. And don't forget, on Friday, it's 4/20 Day. So that'll be some fun.
It's a lot of Earth Day going on this week.
It's a week just for you, John. A week just for you. Spend some time talking Tampa trade with the Patriots. We also talked some about our favorite books that we read in school as part of the school curriculum. Keep those texts coming in, please. There's been some rule changes in college football for those of you who may have missed it. Targeting, now, you know how when you get the targeting penalty, you not only get tossed from the game, but you have to go back to the locker room. Well, now, you don't have to go back to the locker room. You're just kicked out of the game. So you get to stay on the sideline. Reviews have to be completed in 2 minutes to try and change the speed of play to try and pick up the pace a little bit. Another rule, this one is interesting. If a game clock expires and a review determines there was time left on the clock and the clock is going to start on the ref signal, there has to be at least 3 seconds left on the game clock. So
when you brought up colleges, I really thought you were going to bring up sorry Harvard taking all that money from the stimulus checks after they laid off all their lunch ladies and everybody else and their grandmother and sit on the world's largest freaking endowment.
No, but you bring that up.
That just ticks me off. And by the way, Boise State furloughed their employees, and even their coach is taking, 10 days furloughed?
Michigan is cutting back also. These higher places of higher education, higher learning colleges, even the big boys are cutting back and cutting down and trying their best to save money, because this is going to affect, the coronavirus is going to affect enrollment at your university in the fall, and you are going to be without
But again, don't even go there because remember, I already told you about how much money these universities have, and again, they get free land, they don't pay taxes, and yeah, they get to add. Hey, we're gonna increase our student 9% this year.
Yes, both can be true. They're going to lose money, and what you're saying is true as
well.
But
you're
we've
like,
seen
okay,
some colleges, some of the smallest colleges, John, are really going to be like hit
small
hard
colleges,
by this.
but
We've seen some
Harvard.
shut
Okay,
down.
yeah. When I'm saying small colleges, I understand exactly what you're saying. But but the 122 universities who are sitting on over $100 million or $1 billion, like a Harvard or somebody, they don't need it, and that's just ridiculous.
Thinking about some of the universities around Lemoyne-Owen immediately comes to mind, where this is going
Yes.
to be like hard. Fisk. I have a soft spot for that area of Nashville.
Small
Fisk,
schools
Meharry,
are struggling
Tennessee
like a
State.
mug.
Like Fisk is going to be hit really,
Small
really hard by this.
athletic programs are going to struggle badly.
Yes,
Like
very
your
much
Mississippi colleges down in Jackson's Millsaps. I wonder what like Rhodes is going to do here.
Rhodes
things
is
like
another
that.
Christian Brothers around here.
Christian
also.
Brothers. Memphis, I think, is going to be all right.
But you've got to start planning now. I know Michigan is trying to save. They're expecting to lose anywhere from $400 million to $1 billion this academic semester.
But like, if 100 years, again, this is what I want to say. I forgot to. What's his name? McScrooge. Remember DuckTales?
Yeah.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
Who is the rich duck?
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck is like Harvard and universities. Yeah, you can say, oh, the coronavirus is going to hit him. But if he's sitting on a stack of money and he loses a little bit, he's still sitting on a stack of money.
Yes, he is. A large stack of money, and money that, because of the way it's set up, just sits there and makes more money.
Yep.
So when everything does get back to normal, the fact that they have that well to go to, while they might dip into it every now and then, as long as they have that well will be able to replenish itself, basically. I hear what you're saying. I'm thinking about your smaller university, like you said, Mississippi College, Fisk, Lemoyne. Millsaps. Like those schools. Do we got my man on? I should have got.
Yeah,
I need his intro. Get Rack City instrumental pulled up, John. I can't just have any old thing going on. We got Similac Zach going to join us in a minute. He don't eat no meat. He can't be beat. We are going to get that intro for the man, the myth, the legend. We spun the wheel at 7:50.
What is it?
It is Rack City. It is Rack City. Instrumental. Only the instrumental, because the regular version is, we can't be playing that out here in these streets. Oh, there it is. Oh, listen to that. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, he don't eat meat. He can't be beat. He don't scream in his wildest dream. He knows some Reggies, and he eats a lot of veggies. The deacon of the Sports 56 Morning Show, Zachary Boyd, is joining us right now. Zach, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Somebody call me?
What's up? Yeah, we spun the wheel. We put your name on the wheel. And if it lands on you, we call you, Zach. How's it going?
Not much, man. Just kind of taking this day by day. I can't wait for the draft, though. I've been cramming a lot of knowledge into like the NFL draft.
Share with us some of the knowledge you got, Zach. Hit us with some of it.
Like, I want the Cowboys draft CeeDee Lamb so bad.
CeeDee Lamb's not going to be there at 17.
He's not, but it's wishful thinking. Like, if I can't get Isaiah Simmons, I won't CeeDee Lamb.
I know what he means about one CeeDee Lamb. He looks so good on the film. He just jumps off. He reminds me of like Antonio Brown-esque.
Is Cowboys move up to get him? Would you be okay with that, Zach?
No, I want them to stay.
Trade
where they
Dak
at.
Prescott away? Try and move up?
No, I love my quarterback.
Keep him. Do? That's
I
my
love my
quarterback.
Pay my quarterback.
Wait, is he a Cowboy fan?
Yes,
is that
he's
how you got a job here,
he's a
Zach?
Cowboy fan. He and Eli, man. Eli was like, yo, I'm tired of dealing with the rest of the NFC East. I need some backup. I'm tired of Peter riding with Washington, man. I need some backup out here in these streets. At the time, Austin was here. Austin was a big Giants fan. Eli was like, no, we can't have this. We got too many of them running around.
No,
and Greg is from Philly. He's a Colts fan for some reason, but he still got a soft spot for the Eagles. Like, Eli was like, come on, man. Let's go get somebody. Zach, you like the Cowboys? Zach was like, yeah. And Eli brought him in.
I was raised as a Cowboys fan. So,
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I love it. I love everything about it. Like, obviously, like, I'm not the typical Cowboys fan that sit there and say, Super Bowl or bust. we need to trade our quarterback because he sucks. No, like we'll be like I'm more of looking at this team like, man, we just add a couple more pieces, get some consistency going. I mean, like who knows what this might lead to? But
I think we all know, like a 9-7 season and missing the playoffs again.
Yeah, no. The way each team situation is showing up, like I don't know about that. We might see the Cowboys back as the divisional champions again.
Okay,
because there's never been a repeat champion in the NFC. So who knows?
Wait, what you mean never? You mean never, or not in a long time?
Like it's been over like a decade since.
Okay.
Since the NFC East has had a repeat champion. So every single year, it's always been a different team. I thought this year was going to be the Cowboys. Like, all right, we got a loaded team. Let's make this Super Bowl run. And then, like, everything came crashing on their faces. So
yeah, as Zach, I'm going to be honest with you, as what happens sometimes in the NFC East for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, it's been a while. You're right. It has been a while. You brought up, man, I forgot how dominant the Eagles were in that division.
Does Zach, is he old enough to remember Emmitt Smith?
No, Zach was born in like 96. When were you born?
Was he a Cardinal when you were born?
Yes.
No. I was born in 94. So I knew Emmitt Smith right before he went to the Cardinals. Because I was a big Deion, Michael.
My daughter older than you?
Yes. Everybody's older than Zach.
Dude, that just messed me up.
Yes, John, you're old enough to be people's parents up here. Congratulations. Congrats. CD Lamb's not going to be there at 17, Zach. Who do you want at 17, realistically? Who are the Cowboys going to get?
I love C.J. Henderson. I mean, the thing about corners, like, yeah, most corners don't like to tackle because they prefer playing the pass. But I think naturally not CD.
You can get CD Lamb and put him at corner, see what he can do. He's a good enough athlete to try that out.
You never know. He might be Deion in the making. We'll see if that ever happens. But I do like C.J. Henderson. Just being able to play man corner and just be able to shut down half of the field, especially when he was with Florida. I think he went up against like a boatload of receivers in the SEC. Especially Jamar Chase. I think that's like the biggest name everybody keeps talking about. The fact that Jamar Chase literally ate up the SEC, but you still had like those good corners from Florida with C.J. Henderson. Was it Noah Igbenogany? He kind of had a couple wins with Auburn. You still had like certain corners that had good wins against Jamar Chase, who's supposed to be like a top 5 pick next year. So next draft. So I love having C.J. Henderson if he's available. Obviously, I'm going with best player available, whoever so happens to land or come around the 17th pick. So I'm hoping it's CD, but I mean, I would love to take C.J. Henderson there at 17.
I think the Cowboys should trade up and go get Tua.
Shoot, I think C.J. might be there.
Me? I'm definitely not going to be there.
C.J. Henderson out of Florida.
Oh, okay. Clarify, because if the Cowboys draft me, like, I got money, but I don't know, man. You don't want me running around with these receivers.
By the way, Henderson, he didn't have the best year last year, but people forget this is a 3-year starter out of Florida. Dude knows how to play the position. He's a lockdown corner.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys should move up and get Tua. Let's make that happen.
Man,
trade Dak Prescott, trade Ezekiel Elliott, trade the 17th draft pick, and go get Tua, Zach. I think that's what they should do.
No. I keep everybody intact, pay them their money, and let's see where this goes.
Zach, what you been doing, man? What you been watching?
Oh, I don't even know.
What you mean you don't know? You don't know what you watch?
At this point, I'm just kind of just floating around. I just got finished watching the Dragon Ball series.
Okay.
What?
You watch Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
All of them.
Okay, so you watch Baby Goku all the way up through Grown Goku. I know you were on the Cell saga at one point in time, and then you went back and watched the Dragon Ball series.
Is this like Game of Thrones?
No, this is anime. You know you don't want no part of this conversation, John. It's cartoons, man. John just gave everybody the peace sign.
I was like, okay.
So did you like it? Did you like the Dragon Ball?
I did. I got a lot of thoughts on it. It just don't make any sense. Like my appreciation for Baby Goku is through the roof because it's just the innocence of Baby Goku is
such a pure being.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Yes,
it is amazing. He just naturally just goes around and you know they went. I don't want to spoil this with anybody, but
hey Zach, check this out. It's been out since like 94, 95. You're good. You're good. Spoil it.
Yes, but so they went into outer space, and he got changed into back to Baby Goku, and his granddaughter's older than he is, and Trunks is like piloting the ship, and they're sitting and telling him like, you can't do that, and he was like, well, gosh, like I didn't know, like you're older than that.
He just don't know. Goku's just kicking it, man, just hanging out. Yeah, Dragon Ball has been around since 1984. So you're good. You don't have to warn people. Dragon Ball is older than everybody but John here. So we're good. Oh man, what else? Outside of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I need to start Dragon Ball. We're going through Powerpuff Girls right now. We're almost done we're almost done with Powerpuff Girls. I guess when that ends we'll get into Dragon Ball.
Are you diving into like the what's the boy version of the Powerpuff Girls?
The Rowdy Rough Boys?
Yeah.
They don't have a TV show, but yes, they have made a couple of appearances in the Powerpuff Girls show. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It got weird after that. I was like, oh, wait a minute, like I want to watch cartoons. I didn't like this is back then when Zach wasn't interested in like watching love stuff that much, especially like in my cartoons. And so it was like, whoa, wait a minute, like you're introducing a whole nother. I'm like, I'm not for this. Like, like I'm not about this.
Did you watch Tiger King, Zach?
No.
Why not?
No, because I'm just not interested in people messing around with exotic animals.
Oh, this is about so much more than that. This is about people messing around with other people. It is wild. It is super strange.
And Twitter has been my main source of information when it came to that, when it was like popping like a couple of weeks ago, and how the beef between Exotic Joe and Carol Baskin. Like I'm like it does sound interesting, and I might dive into it, but I'm not gonna watch it now because it doesn't sound enticing to me right now.
So what are you watching now? So you finished Dragon Ball, you finished Dragon Ball Z. What's next on the queue list for Zachary Boyd?
I just got finished watching Pokemon. They wrapped up.
Zach, you got a thing for these anime shows from late 90s, early 2000s, don't you?
Like Pokemon was like the staple. Like, Ash leaving Pallet Town for 12 years and still look 10 years old is like, it's amazing. Like, I don't know what's his I don't know what's his secret, but I mean, like the fact that he has this extensive resume as a 10-year-old, I mean, it's pretty cool. But nevertheless, like Pokemon has always been a staple for me. I have actually before COVID-19 hit, I went back and watched Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know.
I was wondering if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I went back and watched the first 3 series of Yu-Gi-Oh! 4 series, because then they have like this 5th series where it's Arc V, where it's pretty much it's pendulum summoning. I know I'm getting into a lot of details. I know this is like a sports show, and people gonna be listening like, what the heck is he talking about?
Yo, so you finished the Egyptian God card series. Which one was that? Was that 4?
That was the first one.
That was the Egyptian God cards was the first one?
Yeah. With Yugi and Tristan and all them, Joey and everybody. Yeah, that was
Obelisk the Tormentor.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was my favorite one was was Ra. Because he seemed like the strongest one, and he seemed like the strongest one of the 3. But you know that if you have all 3, like you pretty much, I wouldn't say invincible, but
you're basically invincible. You are certainly invincible, Zach, if you got all 3.
Like you pretty much won the game.
Yeah, obviously. Especially if you can get them on the field. Yeah, you're done, man. You're good to go.
So I went back and kind of watched that. I was trying to see if there was the dub version because I can't keep up with the sub.
You can't read fast enough for the subtitles?
No, I can't. I like to take my time when I read. So when
Are you paying attention, Zach? Or are you doing other stuff while you're supposed to be watching the TV show?
No, I'm actually paying attention. Surprisingly, I'm paying attention when I'm watching these shows. I just can't read fast. So that's why I look for the dub version so that I can listen, see what I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can keep up with everybody else who, reading the sub version. But I can't read that fast.
We talked, Zach, speaking of reading, at the start of the show, some of our favorite books that we had to read as kids because of school. Give us one of yours before we get out of here, man.
It has to be Invisible Man. I still have this book to this day. It's on my dresser.
Invisible Man?
Invisible Man.
Okay.
We had to read it. I think for 11th grade, 12th grade. It's one of those years. So Invisible Man was a good one. The women on Brewster Place had to read it for 12th grade for an assignment right before 12th grade year. I thought that was very interesting. Talk about the different women in Upper New York, I want to say, and like the different households and how they navigated through life. Black women, now how they navigated through life. It was very that was very interesting. How looking at the perspective of the different households that women have to navigate through. So so those are the two books that I particularly like going through grade school. So
that is Similac Zach, America's heartthrob, Deacon of Sports 56 Mornings. Deacon, we'll talk to you later, man.
As always, guys.
I'll let you. Follow him on Twitter, Rack City Zach. We'll be right back with more to come on the other side. We got Rob Fisher at 9. Don't go anywhere. Sports 56 Mornings, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 96.1 FM, or 87.7 FM.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. A lot has happened overnight, and just wanted to let you know we're open at Sunrise for all your automotive needs. Service, body shop, parts, and sales. Go online to sunrisememphis.com to schedule an appointment. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% up to 84 months with deferred payments up to 120 days. You can shop online. We'll bring the car or truck to you. At Sunrise, we know you want to feel safe, so bring your car or truck to any Sunrise location, and we'll disinfect it at no charge. Sunrise, stress-free and safe. Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you, like your wife when you forget your keys at work.
Hey, hon, you get my texts? I am looking for the spare house key. Maybe I can get through the window. Turns out the alarm works. Wow, it works fast. You should probably call me back.
Geico, always there for you, with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for streaming on various platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. Well, welcome back in to the people on the camera watching us, Sports 56 WHBQ, on all of those social media sites. We appreciate it. We just got off the phone with Zach. It was good to hear from Zach. Still the same old goofy guy. I don't know what everybody else was doing last night, but I decided I'd tune in to catch some of this Prince tribute. I don't know if you ended up watching that or not, John, but I thought it was pretty good.
Did he sing Purple Rain? Prince? Like Prince?
Yes, Prince.
Purple Rain. I'm just playing, man, but I was hoping you weren't going to say Prince Charles because then I was going to freak out.
No, it's Prince the artist. Yes. We would have a serious issue if Prince the artist was singing songs last night, though.
So is it a documentary?
No, it was a tribute, a Grammy tribute to.
Oh, so it's playing in music and stuff. It ain't
Yeah.
like about him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They had a bunch of different acts. You know Prince is dead.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
Okay. Oh my God.
Like that's why I said, are they going to
That's why I paused, because you're like, yeah, did he do Purple Rain? I'm wondering.
No,
like,
in the documentary, like, is he like walking
he's a
around?
zombie? What's going on? The ghost of Prince is out here performing?
No, I figured since, he's been gone for a while, maybe they went ahead and did like a full-on docu-series on him and showed how like opioids are dangerous.
No, they just did 2 hours, 2-hour music extravaganza where Foo Fighters got on stage. Foo Fighters did Dirty Diana. It's like, okay, I'm here for this. Usher went out there. Nobody should do Kiss anymore because you just can't hit that note at the end. There's no
nobody
way
can do Kiss.
Don't do Kiss anymore.
Little Red Corvette.
Little Red Corvette was performed last night. One of my
Who performed that?
Did Usher do that one too? I think Usher did Little Red Corvette too.
When Doves Cry?
Usher did when When Doves Cry and Kiss.
Pink Cashmere?
I don't think we didn't get Pink Cashmere. But it was fun. Sheila E. was out there getting it. Morris Day and the Times were out there, just as cool as ever. One of my fonder memories of being in Memphis is going to the Orpheum, maybe the week after Prince died, the week of. I can't remember exactly, but I know Prince passed in the summer because in the summertime, the Orpheum does their summer movie series. You go down there, you pay $5, you get in, and you watch a movie in the Orpheum. And it's pretty fun. But because Prince had died, they let everybody in for free to celebrate the life and times and legacy of Prince. I remember walking into the Orpheum, and they're just blaring Prince songs like, oh, okay, this is going to be fun. And get inside to where the seats are, and everybody's in there just getting it. Everybody's just in there listening to Prince, shaking their groove things. It's like, oh, it's going to be this type of an environment. So we sit down to watch Purple Rain. The very first time I watched Purple Rain was the week Prince died in the Orpheum, in that environment. And oh my gosh, I am so glad I waited so long to watch it, because seeing it for the first time and then seeing everybody else's reactions to watching it for the umpteenth time, and Purple Rain gets played, it starts coming on. Oh my gosh, we lost it. Everybody singing along, lights being, the candles being lit, or not candles being lit, but you know how you got the flashlight on your phone and you're waving it side to side. Oh, it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that moment, and I enjoyed last night. We'll talk to Rob Fisher and see if he's got any
fentanyl is some BS, man. I can't believe it killed Prince. I didn't think anything could kill Prince.
Death comes for us all. Boy, this is such a good song.
But he's Prince, man.
Man, I know how to undress me. We'll be right back. Rob Fisher's going to join us next on the other side right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Mother's Day may not be top of mind for a lot of us, but now more than ever, Reaching out to a special mom in your life can make all the difference. I trust 1-800-Flowers to make it right. Get 3 dozen sorbet roses for only $39.99. Now, there's limited delivery windows, so you gotta lock in your orders early. 1-800-Flowers.com. You click on the radio icon and put my name in, H-E-R-D, HERD. 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD.
Hi, I'm Troy 5 owner of 5 Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. 5 Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5 Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for. And choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scotts. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
Sports 56 would like to recognize local businesses that are out there still feeding and providing for the community via curbside pickup. Let's support local business with your business. These local businesses include Central Barbecue, Sunrise, Sweetgrass, Humdingers, Germantown Commissary, Jason's Deli, Corky's, East Coast Wings, Moe's, and Soulfish Cafe. Sports 56 appreciates the support of local businesses always, but especially during this time. Thank you.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Welcome back in. Sports 56 Morning. Speaking of things people shouldn't do anymore, this guitar solo at the end of Purple Rain.
Maybe Clapton's old self could do it.
No, just leave it alone.
Jimmy's dead, so
just leave it alone, man.
Santana's gotten old.
I'd be interested to see Santana, who's my man from Adam Levine from Maroon 5, did a pretty good job. But like there are just moments in some of these songs where it's not going to hit the same. No matter what, the notes that Prince hits right at the end of Kiss, not going to hit the same coming from somebody else. This guitar solo right at the end of Purple Rain, not going to feel the same. Whitney Houston's, the last chorus of I Will Always Love You, where she really bellows, she really gets into it, really sings.
Do you know who wrote that song?
everything in me
Dolly
wants to say
bleeping Parton.
Yeah,
I didn't know that at all. Like, I can't see her like Whitney when she sang that bad boy is just a different level.
There are some covers that do the song justice. There are very few that are better than the original. And this is not a knock on Dolly, because that Dolly Parton song, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, if you ever heard it. That is a really, really good, really moving song. The I Will Always Love You song is by Dolly is great. And Whitney came through and does it justice, to say the least. But again, nobody should be trying to sing that song anymore. Just leave it alone. When we do tributes to these acts, just leave that part out of it. We're going to not pay tribute. We're going to bring Rob Fisher in to get his thoughts on some of this and more. Rob Fisher, everybody knows him over on the sidelines for the Grizzlies pre- and post-game show. And Rob is a bit of a lumberjack now. Rob, welcome in. How's it going, man?
Yeah, that's true. Good morning, man. How are you doing today?
Do we call you Mr. Beefy?
You can. I mean, you wouldn't be you wouldn't be the first.
Yes. That's a grade A content. I'm here for, Rob. Did you get a chance to watch that tribute to Prince last night?
Man, I recorded it.
Okay.
And then after seeing everything on Twitter about it, I just decided to erase it.
Oh, wow. Was Twitter mean?
Twitter was mean. I mean, I'm a big Prince fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crazy Prince fan, but I saw him in concert a couple of times and went to an after party one time. Yeah, man.
Wait, did you look into his eyes? Wait. You went to a Prince after party?
Prince after party, yeah. And how about this? It was a Prince after party, and it was in Sauget, Illinois, which for people who know the St. Louis area know Sauget, Illinois, what it's known for. And it was at one of the clubs in Sauget. And he was, I don't know how we got invited to this. I don't even remember. But so we went, and it was a big party, and the little fella, never got off his bus.
Really?
People kind of trickled onto the bus, but no one, but no one ever came off the bus.
That's because Prince was a cool dude. That's a bad man. I can't believe you got to go to the after party.
I'm just glad you didn't look into his eyes.
Well, I never saw him. Yeah, I never saw him. He never got off the bus.
I wonder if he had the bootyless chaps on.
I mean, does he wear anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think he had to have had those on, especially back in that day and time.
Oh, yeah. This was 25 years ago. So
wow.
he definitely had them on.
Oh yeah, he was. Yes, he definitely wore them then. So people were
man. And the thing was, I saw a video yesterday on Twitter and it showed him performing on American Bandstand in 1979. And I was like, 1979? I didn't even know Prince was around in 1979.
Yeah, that first album was in 77, maybe.
Really, man?
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I had no idea, but yeah, I don't know. It like you were talking about. It's tough to duplicate someone who's so unique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's very difficult, and his range is just uncanny. And so for others to try and do that, I don't know. I feel like I could look in front of the mirror after a shower and sing a Prince tribute album, and it might be as good as watching it on TV.
The better parts of it, and really to me the best parts of the tribute was Sheila E. Getting down on percussions, because she's still got it. She's still phenomenal out there. She did Glamorous Life, and it was great. And Morris Day and the Time showed up. They showed out. Morris Day still cool. I need me a mirror guy. I need me a guy who I can point to and say, hey, go get my mirror. Have him run and get the mirror as I look in it and pose for it. Like, I need some of that. Still got it. Man,
last time the Grizzlies played at the Palace in Auburn Hills before they shut that building down, a halftime show was Morris Day and the Time.
Oh, and, nice.
The last time we were there, before they shut it down, Morris Day and the Time performed. And it was cool because at halftime, I go out on the floor to do a report.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm standing like right there in front. And he just still had the moves, and still had the coolness, still had a mirror guy. I mean, it was like, that's awesome. Morris Day and the Time. He was really cool.
Yeah, so that was last night. They were those two really stood out. Everybody else was, I get it. Mavis Staples did Purple Rain, and it hits. That version of Purple Rain is not Prince. Now
Right.
Not saying that,
Right.
but it hits in a certain way that is really good. Like that was the best cover of Prince's song last night. Was Mavis Staples doing "Purple Rain"?
Chappelle's the best
okay.
Prince I've
All
ever
right.
seen.
All right. No question.
Obviously, clearly.
I got a TV update for you this week.
Oh, you do? Let me hear it.
So I watched The Baker and the Beauty.
Okay, how
was
it?
I was telling you last week about The Baker and the Beauty.
Yeah.
There have been 2 episodes. So last night I watched episode 2. It's cute.
Oh.
If you and your wife, you and your significant other would like to just sit down and watch a cute TV show, it's cute.
Have you been watching?
I mean, the guy's a baker and falls in love with a supermodel, and the supermodel falls in love with him, and it's just chaos ensues. And he got proposed to by his ex-girlfriend. He said no, and the supermodel was there and saw this exchange in a restaurant, and then chaos just ensued. So now the ex-girlfriend's trying to get him back, but she's seeing on TV that he's out with the supermodel, and oh man! And you're just thinking, watching him, you're like, go to the supermodel, go to the supermodel. So yeah, it's a cute show for the couple.
Have you been watching Bob Hart's Abishola? Speaking of cute shows,
man, I give every show at least most. I mean, there are some that after one I just say no dice. I'm done with it. I'm not giving it another shot. But most Bob Hart's Abishola, I watched maybe 4 episodes, 5 episodes, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Okay.
It felt like every episode was the same, and I just it kind of bored me. So I stopped. I quit on that one early.
Okay, because that's our cute show right now. We'll try this Beauty Baker and the Beauty.
Yeah, it's cute.
Beauty and the Baker. What is
the
it?
Beauty.
Baker and the Beauty. We'll try that out.
Baker and the Beauty or Beauty and the Baker. I don't know. You'll figure it out. Songland is back. Songland is back on TV, and watched episode 2 last night. First episode they had Lady Antebellum. Last night they had Luis Fonsi on, and man, it's an awesome show. Because these people are music writers. Have you ever seen the show?
No, that's why I need help.
It's a reality TV show, isn't it?
It's a reality TV show. There are 3. I forget who the 3 people. I don't even remember their names. But there are 3 huge people in the music business: a writer, director, producer. The guy from who found One Direction. He's part of it.
Oh,
and it's these 3, and then they have the musical guests. And basically, they bring out 4 artists who are writers, and they write their own songs, and they write songs for these artists. And basically, they perform the song. They pick 3 of them, and then the 3 experts work with these 3 to perfect the song for that person. And then the artist picks one of the songs at the end to make their own, and they perform it, and it's their song. It's the new song of theirs. So these people actually get the opportunity to write a song for these performers. And what's amazing is they'll come out and they'll sing the song, and you think it's great, and then all of a sudden they do work with it, and these people get with them in the studio, and they change it around to kind of perfect it, and then you're like, wow, it blows you away how good it is. And it's pretty awesome. It's a really good show, really good reality show. I enjoy it. I caught it last year, like the last 2 episodes, and thought it was awesome, and couldn't wait for the season to start. So off to a good start this year. Really good. Check out Songland.
Esther Dean, Shane McAnally, and Ryan Tedder are the judges, and then celebrity guest judges and guest stars like you said. Lady Antebellum was last night, but the Florida Georgia line will be there. Luis Fonsi, the guy who did Despacito, is going to be on there. So okay.
Yeah, he was on last night. The one that I watched last night. He was cool, and I mean they came out with great songs. They came out with a couple of songs. A couple of these artists or these writers wrote songs for him, and you could tell that they were like summer smash hits.
Oh,
just because of the chorus. I think his song "Sway," which he picked, is it's going to be a hit. It's going to be a summer hit. You're going to be hearing this song "Sway" coming up here in the next couple of months. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll keep my ears out for that. What else you got?
On the sitcom front, I'm starting to think Brooklyn Nine-Nine might be the best sitcom on television.
It's so good.
What?
I really enjoy it.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yes,
so good.
Andy Samberg.
Is it new?
Andy Samberg.
No, it's not new. It's been around 5-6 years.
it used to be on Fox, and Fox canceled it, and NBC picked it up. And it's great, and it gets better every single week. I love Brooklyn, and it's a fast-paced, funny show. It's a great show. Mom, the TV sitcom Mom, it's also one of my favorites. Really good show. Really good show. And Single Parents is a very funny show as well. Good
I was
sitcom.
wondering about Single Parents. I see it, and it's like, it looks interesting. It looks like I like
really
it, but
good.
I don't know anybody
Good
watching
cast.
or anybody saying anything about it.
Yeah, good cast and good show. Very good. Outmatched. New show on Fox, Outmatched. I don't know if it's going to survive a second season, but it was a great show. Really good. Fox sitcoms don't seem to last, but unless it's animated. But
Last Man Standing's been going strong, but outside of that,
that's been going a long time, yeah. And I'm upset because I watched that one for a while and gave up on it early, but I think I'm going to go back and Netflix because it seems pretty good, and he's good. But Outmatched was good. Unicorn is okay. Unicorn, it's a cute show. That's another one that if you want to sit down with the significant other and watch. Unicorn's a cute show. Broke is a new one that's out there. Still feeling it out. I've watched 2 episodes. Third one better be pretty good, or that one's going to get knocked off the list. And then Will and Grace, they're just playing out the string. It's okay. It has its moments, but it's not what it used to be.
Okay.
But there's only 1 episode left. This week is the series finale, so I'll get through it.
I don't know what I got to do to get you people to watch Flinch, man. Get on Netflix and watch Flinch. I'm telling you,
man. I put it on my list. But I'm watching Kim's Convenience now.
Oh, you are?
Is it a sitcom or a movie?
Flinch is a contest show where they do things to try and make you flinch, and if you flinch, you get punished.
Yes.
And it's just
I have
dumb.
it on. It was funny one night. I was laying in bed and everybody was going to sleep, and I wanted to watch a show, and I looked at my Netflix, and I'm like, "Why do I have this show? Kim's Convenience." I was like, "When did I do?" I was like, "When did I do that? Why did I do that?" And I'm describing the show to my wife, and she's like, "What? What are you doing?" I was like, "I have no idea." And then I was like, "Wait a second, let me look. Maybe that's one that CJ told me." And I went back and looked at your text, and I was like, "Yeah, that's why I downloaded it." Okay. And so I gave it a shot, and I'm like on episode 7 now. So yeah, I enjoy Kim's Convenience. It's very good. Very good. Very funny show.
Is super funny for those of you who don't know, because it's a show in Canada. So it's a Canadian show, but it's about a Korean-Canadian family, a family that has immigrated to Canada.
That's comedy in itself right there.
And owns a convenience store, and the shenanigans that pop off trying to assimilate and understand the new culture while raising kids who are now grown and have a better grasp on the culture than the parents do, and the shenanigans that everybody gets into. And it is great. I love it.
And the son, his boss, this is season 1 at the car wash place.
Yes,
she's hysterical.
Just you wait, it gets better. Shannon is one of my favorite characters on the show, Rob. She gets so much better. So definitely check out Kim's Convenience if you're not.
I watched The Last OG, which is great.
Oh, it is.
Very funny show. Tiffany Haddish is fantastic. I think Tiffany Haddish, her husband in that show, he's the funniest dude on the show.
Oh, yeah.
he is great. And Tracy Morgan's fantastic. So that's a really good show. And I know it's out on TBS and everything, but I'm still catching up. So I've caught up on the Netflix on that one, but that's a good one to watch. And yeah, man. So yeah, I'm getting into some of the TV and getting off the networks and trying to get a little Netflix in my life. So yeah, that's working.
Good. Got a lot of time on your hand. Although I think that time is you're out there in the yard, you're lumberjacking, you're filming the kids and doing walk-off interviews. The Grizzlies announced that they're going to be doing playoff rewinds. Are you going to be a part of that at all?
I haven't been notified yet, so I don't know. But a lot of times I find out like the day before, so maybe. Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. It's funny because while they were doing all the Grizz rewinds, here during the regular season, while the regular season would have been played, my wife said, she was like, I guess they're not showing any losses, are they? I was like, no, and thank God we had more wins than anybody expected because we're able to show all the good wins that we had. So, but it's pretty cool to look on this Grizz rewind for the playoffs. Every game that they have, there's one loss in there. And they're replaying a game in which the Grizzlies lose But everybody who has followed the Grizzlies, their existence, or has been around long enough to remember, you all know what game it is. It's the triple overtime loss to Oklahoma City in the playoffs, which people will still say is one of the top 10 Grizzlies games of all time, despite the fact that it was a loss. I mean, I remember it vividly sitting there. I sat next to Hank McDowell during that game because we weren't broadcasting that game. And I sat next to Hank McDowell, and I mean, I remember where I was sitting. I remember the look. I remember the feel. I remember the shots that went in. I mean, it's one of the most memorable games ever, and I'm looking forward to watching that one again.
What is
Gravis Vasquez hit the big shot.
Gravis? I forgot about him. Thought he was going to be so much better than what he was. What's another game that you look forward to in this playoff rewind that the Grizzlies are going to be doing?
Well, the broke face game. I mean,
that's game 6 or game 5.
That was that was game 2 against Golden State. I don't think it was game back. 1. I think it was game 2.
Game 2 when he comes back.
Came back, and I mean, just the excitement of him being announced that he was going to play much sooner than anybody had thought. And then the performance that Mike Conley put on and Tony Allen put on. I mean, that would have been the Tony Allen game had Mike Conley not had a broke face. I mean, but Mike was sensational. And I haven't seen that game played back, since I watched it when it happened, when it was live. So I can't wait to watch that one. That was such an emotional game, and to steal one at Golden State and Mike have the mask on and get kneed by Draymond at one point, and Tony Allen to be first team all defense. I mean, that was Tony
Allen walking through the kids' performance and getting booed. That was first team all defense.
It was the same game. I mean, it was the Tony Allen game had Mike Conley not performed like he did with a broken face. I mean, it was that. I think people forget that about that game, but that was a huge TA game, and I think that'll be awesome to watch that one too.
I wonder how the league would have changed if the Grizzlies got out of that series. Is the Grizzlies, because that one went to 6. They took them to 6, and they got them to hurt. 6 because Tony didn't. Was it his hamstring? It was a leg injury. Wasn't explosive. Couldn't go out there and defend. At one point in time, they got Bogut, quote unquote, guarding Tony Allen and just not guarding him at all. Mike Conley having the injuries with the broken face, and they still took that Warriors team that was so good and so dominant that year, and in subsequent seasons, they still took them to 6 games. I wonder if the Grizzlies are healthy and able to beat Golden State, whether or not what changes are made in the NBA because of it. Are we going to see that this small ball era, this space and pace, this let's everybody run to the 3-point line and shoot the 3, or will we see the same old let's get 2 bigs and really punish people down low?
Yeah. Does Golden State do like what Houston does? Well, it didn't work, so let's adjust and let's make changes to try and get to that next round. But yeah, you're right. It would have because that was early. That was round 2, so it would have been that could have been huge for the league, and if Golden State would have made changes, or if they would have thought that still could work going forward. But the Grizzlies, it was so much fun to watch the Grizzlies that year, and they had that chance to go up 3-1 at home and couldn't get it done, and because Golden State answered everything that the Grizzlies did, Golden State had an answer for, and so that was disappointing, because to go up 3-1, you feel like you could have put it away, and the Grizzlies would have won the series. But that was awesome game, and that's back when the Grizzlies. I always felt like I loved the makeup of the team because the Grizzlies had a niche and they were different than everybody else. And being a small market team without a superstar, that was the chance. That was your only chance, was to be different. And they were different for sure. And they gave Golden State all they could handle in that series. And it was just too bad that some injuries cropped up and things happened the way they did. But it was a heck of a series, and definitely produced one of the greatest games in Grizzlies history too.
I know, because I was there, and I was there as a fan. I was at a lot of these Grizzlies games as a media representative, but I was at the first playoff series win as a fan, having just got to Memphis and currently flunking. Well, at the time, I was flunking out of pharmacy school for the second and final time. It still brought me joy to be in FedEx Forum when the Grizzlies knocked off the Spurs. and got that win in their first playoff series. I remember it just being so electric. We stayed at Uptown Square, and for those of you who don't know where those apartments are, it is right there off of 3rd, but it's going away from downtown. It is closer to, I guess that's Danny Thomas area. Yeah, Danny Thomas, A.W. Willis, like right there, right next to St. Jude. And we had people meet us there, and we walked up Main Street to get to the Forum. And, we walked. We didn't take the trolley. We walked. And just the closer we got, the louder it became. And we showed up, and it was just a party going on outside. And it was so many people out there on Beale Street before the game and after the game. And then you get in there during the game, and plays are being made, and I'm high-fiving random people. Now, Fish, these weren't the best of seats now. I was closer to the top of the FedEx Forum. I was closer to the ceiling than the floor. I couldn't make out all the players, but it was just fun being in there, hugging people, random people sitting next to us, high-fiving, which, thinking about it now, I was like, man, all the germs that we passed. If coronavirus was around, I definitely would have caught it that night. But it was so much fun being a part of. I look forward to watching that game, or watching those games from that series.
Man, I tell the story a lot when the Grizzlies were in their playoff run and the Dallas Mavericks, after winning the title, and then they went through a little bit of a cold streak. And when they missed the playoffs, we were in Dallas, and Mark Followell, the television voice of the Mavericks, he told me, he was like, fellas, don't ever take the playoffs for granted, because when you don't have them, you're going to miss it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to miss a lot, and certainly have missed it the last few years. And, that's what's really disappointing about the Grizzlies season this year is having that feeling back of having games down the stretch of the season. The final 17 games really mattered and felt kind of playoff intensity already. And then if, the Grizzlies would have finished out the season the way that I think we hope and expect, that they would have been in the postseason. And just to have that feeling of walking down Beale Street with, thousands of people and growl towels and just the atmosphere inside of the building. I did a piece this week on ClaibsOnline.com. A friend of mine, Mike Claiborne, runs a site in St. Louis, and I do an NBA column for them. And I did one this week on best atmospheres in arenas and best sight lines in arenas, just kind of grading arenas. And when it comes to atmosphere, I mean, I got Memphis top 3, and mainly because of playoffs. I mean, and it's just different. Memphis, compared, other cities are great during the post. San Antonio's amazing in the postseason. Portland's great. Oracle was always one of the best places in the league, and Oklahoma City's loud and it's fun and it's a great atmosphere during the postseason. But Memphis is just different and unique. I mean, the whoop that clip, the Jerry Lawlers, the Grizz body slamming people, jumping off the second deck, onto a table. Just all the things that are done around a Grizzlies game. The crowd. One of my favorite moments in Grizzlies history was when the music went dead the one year in the playoffs. And, the dancers were in the middle of a routine and the music went dead, and they finished their routine with no music, and the crowd started going crazy. but then it was eerie because all of a sudden the game started up and there's like no music, and you're like, it's weird. It's weird to watch it. And the fans started a defense chant that just was the loudest I've ever heard it before. And then during the next time out, when Grizz would come out and he'd hold up the growl towel, and it was dead silent. There wasn't music, and everybody in the arena was standing up, holding the towel over their head in dead silence. And it was the coolest moment I can remember. And then that became a tradition where every game and every season they'd hold up the growl towels in silence. And it was like, I'd always be sitting next to a national writer during those games, and they'd always be looking at me like, is this normal? I mean, what? I mean, every time it happened, I'll never forget Chris Mannix asking me, he's like, are you guys serious? I was like, yeah, man, this is legit. And so
it's real.
To have that back this year would have been, and who knows, maybe we still will, but to think of those days and to think of that excitement, I mean, just you describing the walk to the arena. I'd always be at the building, but sometimes I'd just take a peek outside and just see it. It's such an amazing moment for the team, for the fans, but for the city. And, you remember during the flood when we had that great series, the Oklahoma City series, when we lost the triple overtime game, and how that brought the city together, and it was amazing. So, talking about the playoffs, you get chills, and it feels like we haven't been there now forever. Because even at the end, getting swept by San Antonio with Birdman and Jordan Farmar on your starting five, it wasn't as thrilling as years past. But to get back with a new team, a new style, young, regardless of what would happen in a first-round series with the Lakers, it would be magical again, for sure.
You bring up some of the in-game stuff that went on during the playoffs and in some of these games. One of the moments that really stands out to me, a core memory, to borrow a phrase from Inside Out for me. Grizz is on the court, and it's time. He's trying to get people loud. And so he just takes off running, and my man runs all the way up the form. He gets to walls. There are ladders there. He's climbing up the ladders. He gets all the way to the ceiling and just unfurls just this banner that says, "Get loud." It's like, I got to cheer for that. Like, my man just ran. He just ran up all these steps. What do I look like sitting down in my seat? I got to get up on my feet and cheer. And it's what a way in the playoffs to kick off Memphis in May and to have the playoffs going on and Barbecue Fest and Music Fest, all these other things. Memphis as a city is bustling about with a different energy when the Grizzlies are in the playoff, along with all the other festivals and things like that are going on. I miss it. I certainly do miss it.
Well, maybe this year it'll be Memphis in August. Who knows? With everything being moved back, and maybe the NBA season gets going again, maybe it all coincides again and comes together. That'd be fantastic. But I was even thinking last night too. I mean, it would be weird at the games when fans are allowed back. That first time fans are allowed back in the arena, how much high-fiving and hugging and celebrating is going on? It's kind of bizarre to think about. And somebody sent a text to me today that the song "Due to the Crisis, Sweet Caroline" is now banned from use because there's no touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you.
Yes.
maybe that'll become America's theme song. I know people can be really sick of that song and hate that, like the Boston Red Sox, it's a big part of their DNA, but maybe that could be a national song to get us back together and touching hands and reaching out and touching me and touching you. So maybe that becomes our national anthem going forward.
Rob, it's about time for a new national anthem. We've lived through some things as a nation. Yeah, we can certainly make Sweet Caroline pit them in rotation or for consideration.
No, we got to keep the national anthem the way it is. To me, it's like changing One Shining Moment when we went from Luther and changed it. I mean, that was just a bad idea, man. Bad idea.
Oh, Rob, we got to get out of here, man. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
You got it.
Rob Fisher, ladies and gentlemen. Got to get out of here, get to a break. We're going to talk NFL draft on the other side. Raspberry Beret will play you out. You're listening to Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. How old is your water heater? With most of the water heaters in the Mid-South located in the attic, the worst day you can replace your water heater is one day too late. It may be time for a tankless water heater from Conway Services that never runs out of hot water. Plus, these energy-saving models only heat the water you use, saving you money on your gas bill every month. Most 10-year-old water heaters were about 65% efficient when they were new, compared to a tankless water heater from Conway Services that's up to 98% efficient. Plus, right now, get your tankless water heater from Conway Services for as low as $79 per month, or I'll give you $300 for that old tanked water heater. And no more worrying about that tank bursting in your attic either. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier tankless water heater professionals at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old water heater will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Sports 56 would like to recognize local businesses that are out there providing for the community. Let's support local business with your business. The Gun Store, Holly Chevrolet, The Bear's Den, the Peabody Hotel, The Shot Nurse, Laser Aesthetics Body and Wellness. Sports 56 appreciates the support of local businesses always, but especially during this time. Thank you.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Navigating the stock market can be pretty scary when you retire. Some investors choose annuities, which seem to take the risk out of investing. But Fisher Investments says, watch out. Annuities don't always provide the safety they promise. You can't take a chance. If you have $500,000 or more, call 1-800-885-2288 for Fisher's free guide, Annuity Insights. It answers the annuity questions you should ask. 1-800-885-2288.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for and choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scotts. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
Sports 56 would like to recognize local businesses that are out there still feeding and providing for the community via curbside pickup. Let's support local business with your business. These local businesses include Shelby Forest General Store, Let It Fly, Moon Dance Grill, Great Wines, Germantown Wines and Liquors, Corks Wines and Liquors. Sports 56 appreciates the support of local businesses always, but especially during this time. Thank you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Welcome back. I can't hit that note.
That was pretty good, though.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll do what I can. There it is. Prince is a bad man still. Like to thank Rob Fisher for joining us. You guys can be a part of the show too. Text in 67129, 67129 on the First Bank text line. Call in 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines. You guys can share with us some of your favorite books. Keep those coming in. I meant to ask Rob that growing up. What was his favorite book as a kid reading in school? So you guys can keep those texts coming in. Rats of Nymph, Secret of Nymph. We got that book mentioned. We also talked some about the playoff rewind that the Grizzlies are going to be doing with Rob. We discussed the fun that the playoffs atmosphere is in Memphis. So if you want to share some of your favorite Grizzlies playoff moments, it doesn't have to necessarily be from the game, but it can be from the party pre or post game, anything. You can share that with us as well. Texting in 67129. NFL draft is going to be happening later on this week. I do believe it's Friday. Yes. Is it Friday? I think it's Friday. Whenever it is, it's going to be this week and go through the 25th. So, yeah, we are all getting ready for that. It's April 23rd through the 25th. So it's Thursday. That's what it is, because 24/20 is on Friday. So Thursday, NFL draft gets going, and we spend a lot of time discussing some of the bigger names that are in the draft in this year's draft. Your Tua Tagovailoa, your Justin Herbert, your Chase Youngs, who, my gosh, still just a freak athlete. Joe Burrow and this stud class of receivers. Speaking of receivers, Percy Harvin wants to get back in the NFL. That's interesting. That's odd time. I don't know why you would take a flyer on him I know why you would take a flyer on him, but in this draft, you've got all of these stud receivers. Why not go after somebody who's a little bit younger? But there's somebody going to give him an opportunity. He looks great. He looks like he is in physical shape. He's got like an 8-pack going on. I don't know what that translates to on the football field, but he looks good. He looks like he's ready to play some football.
Translate to he's going to be rich. By the way, I meant to also tell people
Percy?
out there, yeah, he's going to be rich. Everybody's going to get rich.
Okay.
It's just that time of the year, man. We getting checks for $1,200. We rich. Stimulus.
I'm still waiting on mine.
Man, everybody be waiting.
I need to run up on Regions and be like, hey, who got my money? Did y'all put
Problem
it in the
is,
right
man,
account?
did you do the direct deposit thing,
Yeah.
or do you? Okay.
Direct deposit.
Then, man, you'll be getting it any day.
John, first person I saw who got it, first person I knew personally who got it was like on Wednesday or Thursday of last week. I check every morning religiously. Thank you, God, for allowing me to wake up this morning. Let's go get this money. Amen. Speaking of getting money, let's check my account, see if it's in there.
Bam!
It's not.
It's coming. It's coming.
I wish it wasn't coming. I wish it was here.
I know what you mean on that one.
But some of the players who we aren't talking a lot about, John and I mentioned Antonio Gibson, because we talked about Tigers football players and the Tigers who've been drafted here recently. I think Antonio Gibson with his versatility. I am all about versatility this year. If you can do multiple things, I love you. I think you should be taken highly, and I would take you just strictly based off of that versatility factor. And Antonio Gibson, a player who can play running back and receiver and make an impact for you in special teams. That's a do-it-all type player who I would think that getting with the right team would allow him to really, really pop off the screen and be one of those players who you mentioned in the same breath as I don't want to put too much pressure, but like Tyreek Hill or Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, like those type players who are basically multiple position guys. You just have to find the right position to put them in and take advantage of that mismatch. I certainly think Antonio Gibson can do that. And I've been looking at mock drafts just like everybody else. A couple of them I have seen, like 3 or 4 of them I've seen, have Antonio Gibson going to the Saints. And it's just, oh my gosh, that would be perfect. Perfect. With a coach, we talked about Bill Belichick's versatility and ability to change some stuff up.
Sean
Payton offensively with a weapon, with somebody who can do it all like Antonio Gibson can. Oh, that would be perfect. I love that. I love that.
That fits like a glove, almost just like my good buddy Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. Best person in the whole world, MemphisFarmers.com. Auto, home, life, business, anything you need. Check out my man Chad Gatlin. That's at MemphisFarmers.com. Or call him 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. MemphisFarmers.com. Man, I'll tell you another person that I'm kind of like freaking out about. Have you looked at the USA Today by any chance? Do you even read that paper? Because I call the commercial appeal to USA Today. Like
I read the online stuff. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing.
I don't
basically.
do print, but yes, go ahead.
Well, have you looked at basically their little mock draft that they've been working on this week?
No, I've missed it.
Man, they got I thought it was pretty interesting because they have actually, believe it or not, they have the Dolphins getting Jordan Love. They have the Patriots moving up to pick up Justin Herbert. I always want to call him Hebert, dadgummit. They have the Chargers getting Tua Tagovailoa. They got the whole thing so crazy, it's freaking me out. And, of course, Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati, that's the only thing that's normal. But everything else they've done is literally... It's pretty wild, except for, I believe Cleveland Browns, if they might get Becton at offensive tackle if they don't work out a trade with Washington for Trent Williams. But if they work out a trade, they're not going to get Becton. So there's still a lot of stuff between now and the draft. Like, it's getting real time.
Yeah, there are a lot of mock drafts that are trying to predict the trades that are coming.
Which, how do you do that?
I don't know.
That sounds like a headache.
I don't
let's
know.
predict also trades.
It looks like they might trade. No, just give me the players who you think would be good fits in the system and players that will be taken at that spot. Another player that we aren't talking a lot about, another guy who folks are familiar with around here is Willie Gay for the Mississippi State linebacker. And now I know he comes with some all interesting off-field stuff. The suspension for, 8 games? I think it was 8 games for the cheating on the chemistry by having a tutor do the assignment for him and others on the Mississippi State football team. So he had that 8-game suspension. He also was the linebacker. If you guys remember the Music City Bowl, he decided to pop the quarterback in the eye and break his orbital bone. He's that guy.
Yeah, with Mr. Willie Gay, and just so you know, they actually have him because of that following all the way to pick 83. But he is a baller. Like, it's interesting because, like LSU, Patrick Queen, he was basically a one-year starter and was dominant. But, Willie Gay started more, had more games and experience. But, Patrick Queen was pretty much the Joe Burrow of the defense for LSU. But then Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma, this is a 3-year starter, so he has a lot of experience at playing that linebacker position. So there's some real good linebackers out there, and Willie Gay is just one of those other guys. But again, Isaiah Simmons, I don't know what he's going to be in the NFL. I just know he's going to be bad. I don't know if it's safety, if it's linebacker. He's going to do it all, though.
Willie Gay's numbers in the combine were better than Isaiah Simmons.
Which ones? I mean, not his size.
Not his 40.
I was going to say,
40,
definitely not the 40, and not his, his
the vertical
size.
jump, the broad jump. Yeah, those were better than Isaiah Simmons, and that's why I like Willie Gay, and you can see it on film in spurts.
I like a guy who's got some nasty in him.
He can get sideline to sideline quickly, and he's good in the passing game. You don't have to take him off the field. So when a team like Tampa Bay comes out there, and we talked about the mismatches they're trying to create with Gronk and Brate, or Gronk and O.J. Howard. They go to that 0 personnel package. You don't have to take a linebacker out, or you don't have to put an extra linebacker in because you're concerned about the run. And you put the linebacker in the game, and then Tampa Bay decides they're going to throw the ball, and now there's a mismatch with that linebacker trying to keep up with Gronk. There's a mismatch with that linebacker trying to keep up with Brate or O.J. Howard. With Willie Gay, he stays in there, and he's good enough in the run to stop the run. And if they decide to pass, he can run with the tight end. He can defend that way. He can get back in the zone real well. I like those types of linebackers. We've seen teams go that route and have success with those types of linebackers. You can't be if you can get a backer who can play all 3 downs, you go get that. If you can get somebody who is you take what you get. If you got to go to a 3rd down personnel package and take that linebacker off the field, you got to do what you got to do. But preferably, you keep that linebacker on the field. He's good at stopping the run, and he's good in pass coverage. So when offenses try to create the mismatch, they can't do it the same way. And I think Willie Gay, because he's 6'4", 238, a 33 3/8 wingspan, a high jump, a broad jump than Isaiah Simmons. I'm not saying he is better than Isaiah.
He's 6'1". He's smaller. He's heavy now. He's 243, but he's not near as long and athletic. I mean, he's athletic, but I mean, 6'4" is Isaiah Simmons. He's 6'1", measured at he was measured 6'1" and a half, 243 pounds, where Isaiah Simmons measured at the NFL Combine 6'4", 240.
Got the numbers mixed up. Thank you for
correcting
correcting
it's all right.
that.
I'm just fixing you. But hey, it's 6'1". That's a damn good linebacker.
6'1",
a real
243.
linebacker right there in the middle.
Second fastest 40 for the linebacker
Second
position.
fastest. Dude, if
and
he plays
he's
from the middle,
explosive.
that's sideline to sideline.
That is exactly what that is. I can see that player. You said 3rd or 4th round?
They got him going literally 83rd overall. But again, this is a guy.
So that would be 5th?
No, that would be 3rd round, yes.
Okay.
They got him going over in the 3rd round, but 83 overall, that's late 2nd round. Well, yeah, that's very, very, very early, 3rd round.
We can't do math. Why can't we do math?
I don't know.
I'm putting it in my phone. 83
It's
divided by
64 is
32.
2, homie.
Yeah, 2. 2 round. 2.5. Midway through.
No, 64. Wait, no, it would be 32
83
and
divided
then
by
32.
Yes.
Yeah, but see in the 3rd round. No, 3rd. Because the 2nd round ends at 64.
You're right. It's 3rd round.
Yeah.
Why can't I do math?
Because you have dyslexic for numbers.
Anyways, but yes, John, go ahead.
But no, I'm just saying, I love him, but this is kind of interesting because we talk about the depth of this draft at the wide receiver position. We talk about, different positions. That's one of the positions a lot of people aren't talking about, from Patrick McQueen, Kenneth Murray, Troy Dye from Oregon, Akeem Davis. You have Zach Bond. You got, there's so many of them out there. Trying to think of the other, Jacob Phillips from LSU. They have 2 guys that are going to be drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also LSU.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you want good football players, LSU's got a lot of
Cam
them.
Brown, who played at Penn State, which used to be linebacker U, this is a guy who I thought, he's 6'5", 233 pounds. I always thought they were going to put more weight on him and they were going to move him to an edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, if somebody takes this guy with his speed and athleticism and you put about 30 damn pounds on him, put him on the edge.
He is one of those specialist type
I
of
think so. That's what I'm
linebackers
saying.
where he can go after and get after the
He's going to
quarterback.
be, he's going to be a
Mhm.
rush. He's going to come out that corner and get you.
Absolutely. It is, again, you've got to be able to do multiple things, and you can't look at these guys and think, okay, how can I force them to fit into my system? It has got to be, when we look at these successful coaches, it is, okay, I've got these players. How can I build my system around what they can do well? And so if you're taking somebody like, who did you just say? It's escaping me right now.
Are you talking about
Penn State
Phillips
linebacker.
or Queen?
Penn State's linebacker. If you take him, it can't be, okay, I'm going to use this linebacker to try and run after smaller running backs or to have him drop back in coverage. No. You got to, like you said, look at him, see what he does well, and say, you know what, we're going to put him on the line. We're going to bulk him up a little bit. We're going to put him on the line. We're going to make him an edge rusher. We're going to have him in that 3-4 with his only responsibility filling gaps, various gaps. We're going to send him on a multitude of different blitzes. You get a player like Isaiah Simmons, great. I don't think anybody is silly enough to try and force him to do one thing. But if you get an Isaiah Simmons, if you get a Willie Gay, if you get a Antonio Gibson, players who are
The
really good
specialist
at,
I was talking about was Cam Brown, by the way.
Cam Brown. If you get players who are, and this is how I would build my team, players who are good at a lot of different things, so I can change it up without having to move players in and out of the lineup. You've got to be creative with them. You got to think about how best to utilize those players to their skill set to get the most out of them. We talked about something similar yesterday with Jalen Hurts also. Add him to that mix. This draft class looks on paper to be really, really good with a couple of sure things in there. Just don't mess it up. And you don't have to give up anything. Don't give up the world to move up. I'm looking at you, Miami. I'm looking at you because you smell like a team that's willing to give up a couple of first-round picks.
I'm telling you,
and
I
a
think
couple of
that-
second-round picks to get to it.
You're going to think I'm crazy when I say this. I think Joe Burrow is going to be the only top 5 QB.
Okay.
Miami might not even take a quarterback at 5.
Okay.
Because if they're not sold on Tua's health
Mm-hmm.
and they don't think that Justin is an alpha male, they just might not be sold on any of the quarterbacks. They might take the best available or move down. Who knows?
Good, because whoever the best available is going to be pretty
Because
damn
next
good.
year, you might want to be Miami and you might want to tank for Trevor.
Maybe next year's class.
Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, baby.
Next year's quarterback class is pretty good.
Trevor Lawrence is flat out sexy.
Who's the Ohio State quarterback?
My man, Dwayne Haskins.
That's not Dwayne Haskins.
I mean,
Dwayne
I
is
mean,
in
the
Dwayne
dude,
in Washington.
the one that left from Georgia, Fields.
Fields.
Justin Fields.
That
Yes.
Ohio State has
I always
so
talk
many damn
about Dwayne
quarterbacks.
Haskins because he replaced Joe Burrow, and then we went to Washington.
So Fields is in that class also. So that's something to think
And you
about.
did ask about Ohio State
Yeah.
quarterback, so at least I was 1 year off.
You were. It's hard to keep all the quarterback. As somebody who's taken beatings from the Ohio State quarterbacks for the past, 20 years? They all begin to look the same. Terrell Pryor looks like Troy Smith, looks like JT Barrett. They all them ass whoopings feel the same, look the same, man. I'm with you. I get them confused too. Yeah, I'm, again, crossing patterns still haunt me in my sleep. Don't go anywhere. Sports 56 mornings right here on Real Sports Talk, 560 AM, 96.1 FM, 87.7.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from
Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more.
Right here, R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Don't miss it.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for and choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scott's. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
At CDW, we get modern servers need to be flexible, scalable, and predictable. I predicted you'd say that.
Okay, what will I say next?
Probably something about server security.
Impressive and freaky. CDW can implement secure Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Gen 10 servers that improve speed and performance while reducing
costs. See, predictable.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it.
I predict a web address.
CDW.com/HPE.
I'm in your mind, man.
I'm Dr. George Flynn, president of Flynn Broadcasting. On behalf of everyone associated with Flynn Broadcasting, we want to wish you good health, especially in this coronavirus situation. You can be the hero. All you have to do is practice social distancing. That's right, 6 feet away from other people, and you'll be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Also, if you feel ill and have a cough or fever, get tested so you'll know if you have coronavirus or not. I'm Dr. George Flynn with Flynn Broadcasting. We'll keep you connected while you maintain your physical social distance. So keep listening to this Flynn Broadcasting station because we're in this fight with you and we're going to help you stay connected.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Welcome back. One of my favorite Super Bowl performances of all time. I think everybody's favorite Super Bowl performance of all time.
Man.
Prince in the Rain with the hair wrap because he got that perm. You can't just have it out there getting wet in the rain. But he unwraps his hair and does a great rendition of Purple Rain. That whole thing was phenomenal. I'm pretty sure. I think Eli might have been there. Somebody was there. I think Eli and Brett were there for that Super Bowl. I don't know. I have to double check on that. But yeah, that is one of the great Super Bowl performances of all time. We talked some about that, the Grammys tribute to Prince. If you didn't see it, go back and watch Sheila E. and Morris Day and the Times, and the Mavis Staples Purple Rain. Like those were the highlights of the night. Everything else was okay. I mean, they did the best they could. Can't really mimic or do justice to what Prince was as an artist and a performer, man. But there were some highs in there. There were certainly some high points in that. We spent a lot of time talking the trade, the one that surprised everybody, Rob Gronkowski going to Tampa Bay, and the Patriots getting a fourth rounder for him. Wide receiver Percy Harvin trying to get back into the league in a class that is this deep. And you still got players like Des Bryant who can't get on rosters. Antonio Brown, for whatever reason, can't get on a roster. Josh Gordon is still running around out there, available for you if you want a receiver. You're trying to upgrade your receiver spot. All the players in the draft. Marquise Lee, another one who is out there and available from a wide receiver standpoint. And now you can add Percy Harvin to that mix. He's got an 8-pack.
All right,
so
I got
he
a
looks
question.
ready to go. But I don't know what that means as far as taking hits and running routes and everything.
Last but not least, because I know we're running out of time, I just want to ask you, have you seen any of this crazy stuff about Lamar Jackson wanting Antonio Brown?
No. No, I haven't seen it.
Ooh, look at it today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
No, I haven't seen it, and no, you don't do that.
Dude, I was going to say, Lamar can't throw the ball good enough. Antonio would go bananas.
No, I hadn't seen it. No, it can't happen. If you're the Ravens, you just be like, nah, Lamar. Lamar's going to be on the cover of Madden, though. He's certainly on the cover of Madden 2021. So hats off to him for that accomplishment. But no, Lamar, we aren't bringing Antonio Brown in. We're okay.
Thanks for making sure I do not draft Lamar because I know about the Madden curse.
It's been okay. It's been okay the past couple of seasons.
You mean it hadn't been as bad as it has in the past?
No.
I know for a while there was a nightmare.
Yes. There were like 6-7 years in a row. It was just, you don't want to be on the cover. From Mike Vick's injury to, I think Donovan McNabb had a really bad season after being on the cover. You didn't want to be on the cover. But Lamar's on the cover. He has a cheat code in the game at the 2019-2020 version. He is a cheat code in the game. Maybe he still gets to be that cheat code in real life. We'll find out. Hopefully the curse don't get him. Don't bring Antonio Brown in, Ravens. Don't do it. We got to get out of here. Middays is coming up next. Eli and Gabe got you. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Couldn't been asleep for more than 3 hours. Time to go to work again. Once more I beat the sunlight.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere